Welcome to the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. A gorgeous Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles in Game 5 of the Los Angeles Regional at Jackie Robinson Stadium. The #1 national seed UCLA Bruins and the St. Mary's Gales, the West Coast Conference Tournament champs. An elimination game here in this Sunday afternoon. It's been a thrilling weekend of baseball already, and nothing better than what we saw yesterday when UCLA in the bottom of the ninth rallied to keep their season going against Virginia Tech. Mulavai Lavu homered, and UCLA going back-to-back in the ninth inning. Roman Martin ties it, and it was 5-5. Will Gasparino at third, and Phoenix Call drives in the winning run. And UCLA, their 4th straight walk-off win, going back to the Big Ten tournament. And the Bruins, who lost to St. Mary's on Friday, come back and play the Gales again today. The winner has to return tonight and get Cal Poly in a regional final at Jackie Robinson Stadium. Along with Wes Clements and our ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein with you. And what a day it was yesterday. And the UCLA offense finally got going. It took until the bottom of the ninth against Virginia Tech.
Well, it did. And many people have heard about the miracle on ice. How about the miracle on the diamond happened yesterday right here in Westwood? An amazing baseball game. And Bruin fans, Roxy, are hoping that ninth inning might ignite this dormant offense the Bruins had. On the other side with St. Mary's, it's not your normal 4-versus-1 national seed in the country. This St. Mary's Gales team on Friday have already beaten this Bruins team, Rock.
And Jacob Johnson was the hero for St. Mary's in the game on Friday. He homered twice against the Bruins.
Well, he did, and the biggest home run was in the ninth inning that gave the Gales at the time the go-ahead run. Ultimately ends up being the game-winning home run. And on the other side, you talk about how can teams get through a regional on the losing side of the bracket. Well, if any team is prepared to win through the loser side of the bracket, it's none other than John Savage's pitching staff. Right now, second best ERA in the country, Roxy.
Yeah, only Oregon State has a better ERA. Their former conference foe than UCLA right now. Freshman taking the ball for UCLA. Angel Cervantes makes the start. Sam Kretsch going for St. Mary's. Lineups at first pitch next. track. Prior to the 9th inning against the Hokies yesterday, they were just 1 for 27 with runners on base in this regional. They had 2 hits in the bottom of the 9th and the amazing walk-off to keep them alive and put them in this game 5. Another elimination game for UCLA. The lineup for John Savage and the Bruins, who are now 52-7. And Phoenix Call had the game-winning hit in the bottom of the 9th yesterday. He is 3 for 6 in this regional. He has done a nice job at the bottom of the order for the Bruins.
Well, he's done a great job, and we talk about how do you advance in postseasons. Well, you need contributions from the players that you would least expect it, and Phoenix Call has been that man for the Bruins so far.
Sophomore righty Sam Kretsch winds, and the first pitch of game 5 is outside. Dean West leads it off for UCLA. 278, 6 homers for West. 2 for 7 so far in this regional. He has walked 3 times. Kretsch from Burlingame, California, right on the peninsula there in the Bay Area, as he finds the outside edge and a cold strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dean West.
I talked to Eric Valenzuela before the game about Sam Kretsch, and he said he started the year in the bullpen as a middle guy, and then midway through the season, Eric said, you know what, he's really somebody that's got some good arsenal. It's a cutter, and it's a real good cutter when it's in the strike zone, a slider and a changeup. And he said, you know what, he's one of our better pitchers. I'm going to make him a starter, and that's what happened in mid-April.
His last start came a week ago Thursday at the West Coast Conference tournament in Scottsdale, and he pitched tremendously against the WCC champs, the Zags. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout of Dean West, and that's how our ball game begins.
Over there you see it's an 80-mile-an-hour curveball right there, and the location is what made it great.
Now it's Rock Chalowski. 1 out in the UCLA first. 322, 21 homers for the 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year and the expected #1 pick in the Major League Draft coming up.
You know, there are times when we watch Rock in situational hitting situations where he's got a runner in second and no outs, and he needs to move a runner. He's one of the best, if not the best, in my opinion, in the entire country. He will move that runner from second. He really focuses in, and there are times, just to be honest, where it feels like he wastes that bat because his hand-eye coordination is so good that he swings at pitches with no purpose, if that makes any sense.
0-2 the count on Chalowski. Just 1 for 7 with an RBI in this regional. Sam Kretsch, the 6'4" right-hander, delivers, and it's fouled straight back, and the count holds 0-2 on Chalowski.
Point being, in summary, when you hit, if you have an approach for every at-bat that you go up and get in the box, that's going to be the best thing that you can do as a hitter. What do I want to do this at-bat against this pitcher?
Ground ball toward third. That's a foul ball off the bat of Chalowski, and we'll do it again as Kretsch coming right at Rock Chalowski. And mentioned that Kretsch's last start, it came a week ago Thursday. He threw 6 innings against Gonzaga at the West Coast Conference tournament, giving up just 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 6. And the Zags, they ran away with the WCC crown this year. They won the league by 6.5 games. But then St. Mary's won the tournament, got the automatic bid, and the West Coast Conference only a 1-bid league.
What's interesting, what Eric told me before the game, the #1 and 2 seeds in that conference have never won the Big West Conference tournament.
You mean the WCC?
WCC, I'm sorry.
2-2 on Chalowski. And St. Mary's had to play in. They were the 5 seed in that tournament. And there was a play-in round, and they beat Pepperdine to get into the double elimination portion of that tournament. And the 2nd straight year, St. Mary's winning the WCC tournament title. Last year in Vegas, this year in Scottsdale. And Chalowski gets hit, and that adds to his record. Rock Chalowski has now been hit by a pitch 25 times this season, which is a single-season Bruins record, and he is aboard with 1 out in the first.
Looks like it gets him on the left sleeve, or maybe the back shoulder.
128th time UCLA batters have been hit, 6th most in the country. And a one-out base runner for Mulavai Lavu. He hammered that homer in the 9th to lead off the bottom of the 9th against Virginia Tech yesterday. And he lines this to right, and it sinks in for a hit. Chalowski around second on his way to third, and the Bruins have something going. One out, runners at the corners right away here in the first against the Gales.
Well, this is back-to-back swings from Mulavai Lavu. Yesterday's home run, and the next swing he takes at this yard is a base hit down the right field line. And Rock Chalowski, he's just a baseball player. Yes, it seems simple, but Rock checks where the outfielders are. He knows where that ball is hit, doesn't need a base coach. First and third set up for the Bruins.
Now it's Roman Martin. He has homered twice already in the regional. And he went back-to-back with Lavu in the bottom of the 9th to tie the game for UCLA yesterday.
Well, something of note, Roman Martin hits the off-speed pitches better than anybody does on the this Bruins lineup.
Kretsch dealing with traffic from the get-go. And it's 1-1 on Martin. .330 hitter, 9 homers for Martin, who last year in the Los Angeles Regional, Roman Martin was the most outstanding player as UCLA went all the way to Omaha last year. Their 6th trip to the College World Series. The 1-1 just missed from Sam Kretsch, and it's 2-1 on Martin.
Now, this is a action pitch right here. Let's see what Kretsch ends up throwing here. Behind in the count.
Seven-game hit streak for Martin, and he lines it to center, and that will put UCLA on the board. And Chalowski trots home. Lavu stops at second, and it's 1-0 Bruins.
Well, this is a slider from Kretsch, and we talked about Roman being the best off-speed hitter on the Bruins, and this is exactly why. This is a slider on the outside part. Roman doesn't try to pull it, rifles it into right center, and just like that, Bruins on the board. And this is back-to-back innings, Roxy. The Bruins have put runs on the board, and we have not seen that.
And you mentioned it yesterday, and it bears repeating, Wes, that the inning that UCLA had in the bottom of the 9th can jumpstart this team.
There's no question about it. Again, the Bruins had never been in that situation that they were in yesterday. This Bruins team, the entire year, meaning that if they lost that game, they're taking the uniform off, turning everything in, and the season's done.
I mean, more than likely, had they lost one of those games in Omaha at the Big Ten tournament, they were still going to be the #1 seed in this tournament.
Yes, they were.
As they had walk-offs in all 3 games in Omaha last weekend, and then had to walk off Virginia Tech yesterday. 2 on, 1 out. Now it's Will Gasparino for the Bruins. He homered yesterday. And Gasparino, who did not play against St. Mary's on Friday, .318 hitter, tied with Lavu for the most RBIs on this squad with 63. But he had to serve a mandatory 1-game suspension for a malicious contact ejection in the Big Ten tournament final against Oregon last Sunday. And by rule, the ejection comes with that 1-game suspension. Gasparino was not allowed at the ballpark here on Friday. He had to stay away and watch it at his apartment right over across the 405 near campus, and had to be away from his team.
Would you ask John where he was on Friday? What did he say?
San Quentin.
Well, I think just the presence of Will Gasparino in the Bruins lineup yesterday made a difference. And then, of course, his presence leaving the yard was big. And then in the 9th inning as well, he ends up scoring the winning run.
Gasparino 2 for 5 with that home run yesterday. He's got a 6-game hitting streak going.
It's a 3-0 count right here.
You give him the green light?
Absolutely, positively. Could be 4-0 in a second.
Sam Kretsch in early trouble for the Gales. Gasparino has the green light, launches a fly ball to right. Going back on it is Castellanos to the edge of the warning track, makes the catch. The runners tag and bluff, although going back, Lavu never really tagged at second base.
No, he didn't, and that's very surprising that Mulavai did not go back and tag. And if you haven't been with us the previous day, I mean, well, you can see right there
the body language told
the body language. He knew he made a mistake, because if he tags, then Roman Martin possibly could do the same thing. Yes, Castellanos out there.
Cashel Duggar homered yesterday, takes a strike.
Castellanos, the right fielder for St. Mary's, has a rocket for an arm, Roxy.
And it was on display in the WCC tournament final against USF. 2 on, 2 out. Duggar, a .258 hitter. 2 for 8 in the regional. That 5th home run coming yesterday as Kretsch misses way wide. As Duggar was 0 for 17 coming into this regional. Second team All Big Ten catcher Duggar. His dad Keith is the athletic trainer for the Colorado Rockies. 2 on, 2 out. 1-0 Bruins, the 1-1. Line the other way toward left center into the alleyway, and it's run down by Nick Allred, and Sam Kretsch escapes giving up just the 1 run. He limits the damage, but the RBI signal from Roman Martin in UCLA. The early lead. St. Mary's coming to bat. Coming up after the Bruins got a run in the top of the 1st inning in this elimination game in the lineup for Eric Valenzuela and the Gales. 35 and 26 this year. Diego Castellanos with a double last night in their loss against Cal Poly set the West Coast Conference record for a 37 game hitting streak, surpassing the record, which was at 36, set by a former Gale. But the new record holder for the longest hitting streak in WCC history is Diego Castellanos. Angel Cervantes, the freshman, 4-1 on the mound, and a 3.86 ERA, takes the turn for UCLA today. And he has become somewhat of a national sensation recently, taking social media by storm. While he is this toy dinosaur, that's Jerry. And Jerry right now is on the mound. He brings comfort to Angel on the hill, something he started in high school. It began in a photography class in high school.
You know, Jerry looks like he's a little bit tired, so maybe it's because Angel's walking around with them all the time, but he looks like he's dropped an anchor. He has no intention of moving.
You picked that up just watching.
I did. Sometimes I'm very good, Roxy, especially on Sundays.
Cervantes began this when it was photography class in high school, and he had to take a toy and photograph it in the wild. As Tanner Griffith leads it off and looks at a strike from Cervantes, and then he brought it to the mound with him, and he had a phenomenal game pitching. And you know how superstitious baseball players can be.
No.
Ever since then, Jerry's made the trek to the hill with Angel Cervantes. 1-1 the count. Tanner Griffith, a .329 hitter. 5 homers, leading off for St. Mary's. Looking for his first hit of the regional. He is 0 for 7. He has scored a run. Second team all West Coast Conference for Griffith. Hit sharply off the mound, behind second, fielded by Rock Chalowski. He throws out Griffith, and maybe Jerry tried to help make the play right there and slow the baseball down.
Well, it is an interesting question, and I mean this too. If this ball hits Jerry, what happens? I'm going to try to find out.
It hit the front slope of the mound just in front of Jerry. And there was Chalowski stationed up the middle. And there's one away, and now it's Diego Castellanos in a 37-game hitting streak. .380 hitter with 6 homers. And is Castellanos' first team all WCC. And so he broke the record of Brendan Kalfas, who was a Gale back in 2014. And the old record was 36 in a row. So he tied it in the win against UCLA on Friday, that surpassed it last night. Called strikes is Kyle Nickel, our plate umpire today. Jason Bradley at first, Alberto Ruiz at second, and Derek Everett is down the line at third. St. Mary's seeking their first regional final in program history. While UCLA trying to get there for a 21st time in Bruins history. And if they happen to win this ball game, they will make a regional final for the 6th time in the last 8 years. 2-1 on Diego Castellanos. The pitch. Line, and there is another hit for Castellanos. And it's a 38-game hitting streak for Diego Castellanos, and a 1-out single here in the home first for St. Mary's.
Well, Diego leads the Gales in runs scored and doubles. He is first, but his hand-eye coordination is a thing that's beautiful. It's just beautiful. He sprays the ball around the entire yard. This is an off-speed pitch.
And the record extended by Castellanos, trying to create some separation now. He's at first, 1 out, Makoa sniffing, and he takes a mighty rip. That's strike 1. .358 hitter, 11 homers for Sniffin, and there's no doubt what he is trying to do. He is Mr. Grip It and Rip It. The single season hits record leader. St. Mary's history is 95 this year, and he just got drilled, and the Gales have 2 on with 1 out.
It's just a fastball from Cervantes, just gets away, and Gales just like that. First and second, and Ian Armstrong stepping up in the box, leads the Gales in home runs.
11 times Sniffin has been hit this year. And now Armstrong, who was the most outstanding player at the West Coast Conference tournament last weekend, homered twice in the tournament. First team all WCC catcher. 2 on, 1 out for St. Mary's. And that ball is hooked deep down the left side, but it'll go foul. And it's 0-1 on the sophomore catcher of St. Mary's. Armstrong had a 6-game hitting streak snapped by UCLA on Friday. Now 1 for 7 in the regional. He's hit safely in 7 of the last 8 for the Gales. Castellanos at second, Sniffin at first. Cervantes, the 1-strike pitch. And that just misses off the corner. 1-1 the count on Ian Armstrong.
This is one team in the country that no lead is safe when you face them. Third best hitting team in the entire country.
.329 is a club. And there is a strike to Armstrong at the knees. 1-2. UCLA and RBI signal by Roman Martin in the top of the inning, and now St. Mary's trying to come right back. Freshman Cervantes. Spin but no throw. He prepped at Warren High School. He's from Linwood down here in Southern California. And the 6'2" right-hander is taken over as a weekend starter for UCLA after working out of the bullpen early. 15th start for Cervantes. The 1-2 and went up the ladder with a fastball. 93, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, ideally, you want to get a ground ball and get out of this inning with a double play. And my guess is it's something soft down and away. You can get Armstrong to hook it over to Martin at third.
Took him out. Pumped it by him. 93, and there's 2 gone.
And they go just the opposite of what I'm thinking. John Severs says, "You just be quiet. I'll handle this." It's well-located fastball on the outside part by Cervantes. Little giddy up there. 93.
2 on, 2 out. Jacob Johnson, the hero from Friday for St. Mary's, climbs in to face Cervantes. 347 for the DH of St. Mary's. Had the 2-homer game on Friday, giving him 14 now on the year. And 53 driven in, and Johnson is 5 for 7 in this regional. And he came in just 2 for his previous 18. Diego Castellanos at second, Makoa Sniffen at first, and that's fouled back by Johnson.
Now the Bruins have run this same defensive switch on Johnson in game 1 on Friday, to where they moved the first baseman Mulavai Lavu basically playing in second base, and then Aiden Aguayo is on the shortstop side of second base.
That's the second baseman for UCLA. Brock Chalowski shaded toward the hole, and Johnson skies this one foul near the Gales dugout. Sniffen trying to find it. He'll have a play, but he can't find it. Lost it in the sun, and a break for St. Mary's. Mulavai Lavu could not find the baseball over there.
Yeah, it's tough. The sun is real tough here, and you can see Mulavai trying to shade the sun. No such luck.
1-2 on Johnson, a second life for the DH. Cervantes. The pitch. That's in the dirt, and it gets away from the catcher Duggar, and the runners advance on a wild pitch. Castellanos to third, up to second goes Sniffen, and it's 2-2 on Jacob Johnson.
Well, it's just a spike breaking pitch, and Duggar does a good job just to get in front of it. But Rox, you had mentioned on Friday, and you asked me the question, okay, so why are they doing this shift on Johnson, and wouldn't he try to hit the ball the other way? And sure enough, I guess he heard you, because the next pitch he left the yard the other way. But not only did he leave the yard in that inning, but he hit another opposite field home run in the 9th inning, which ended up being the game winner for the Gales. Now, there's a lot of reasons why the Bruins have this shift.
2-2 on Jacob Johnson after the mound visit. Angel Cervantes delivers. Did he go? Yes, he went around. Fooled, and the strikeout for Cervantes. His second, and St. Mary's strands 2 in scoring position. 1 hit, 2 left. We're through 1. Bottom of the order coming up for UCLA. 1-0 Bruins. The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Nobody's got a wallet out there in the ocean right now.
Oh my goodness, the beautiful Pacific coast right here.
We're about 2 miles from the ocean here at Jackie Robinson Stadium.
It's the best.
Bottom of the order for UCLA in the second. Aiden Aguayo leads it off, and the freshman takes a strike. Trey Godoy, Phoenix called to follow against Sam Kretsch.
Aiden Aguayo, he wasn't slated to start when the year started for the Bruins, but Phoenix Call was injured.
Grounded past first, fair ball by Aguayo. Over to cut it off is Castellanos in foul ground, and back to first. Aguayo singles the other way past the first base bag. And Aguayo was supposed to be in the lineup on Friday. He was injured pregame, didn't play against St. Mary's. Came in late yesterday as a defensive replacement, and now in his first at bat pushes one the other way, and a base hit to start the second for the Bruins.
Well, he has a inside out approach, for better words, and it's don't hold your breath, but very similar to Rock-Chalowski when he was a freshman.
Now it's Trey Godoy, the DH. Strike one to Godoy, 270 hitter. But Godoy just 1 for his last 15. He did double in this regional. He's been hit by 2 pitches here in the regional.
Well, who hasn't been hit in the lineup for the Bruins? I mean, come on.
It's an ongoing theme I think they're tired of.
Bryant Ward runs the offense, and the hitting coach for the Bruins. Done a great job for his tenure here.
Line to right, hooked foul though by Trey Godoy, and it's now 1-2 on the DH for UCLA.
Aiden Aguayo, base runner at first. He's scheduled, slated to go play shortstop next year for the Bruins.
You're assuming Rock-Chalowski is going to sign a contract.
I'm not assuming. We know. Okay, how's that?
When you're slated to be the #1 pick in the draft, yeah, more than likely. The 1-2. 2-2 on Godoy. Already 3 hits for UCLA against Kretsch. Here it comes. Line, right center, Godoy with a sharp single into the alleyway. That's going to roll for a while. All the way around from first, they're waving. Aiden Aguayo, he will score an RBI double. Godoy makes it 2-0 UCLA.
Trey Godoy takes his fastball from Sam Kretsch and finds the gap, and Aiden Aguayo on the bottom of your screen. Right now, he knows he could be sent home. Third base coach of the Bruins, Jake Palmer, says, yes, you're going. Bruins set up, runner at second and no outs.
Now it's the hero Phoenix call from yesterday as Godoy gets back. As call with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Line to pitch to left, driving in Will Gasparino, and the walk-off win for the Bruins. And the sophomore from Porter Ranch has had a really good regional, even though he's only hitting .216 on the year. He is 3 for 6 so far on the weekend. Bunts it toward third, charging it. Ian Josephson on the move, gets the out at first. The sacrifice, advancing Godoy, and there's 1 out. Third sacrifice bunt of the regional.
Well, he is.
For call.
He showed us his skills bunting the ball. The key to a bunt, keep the barrel above the ball, set your angle, and Phoenix Call does it as good as anybody. And Bruins set up with Dean West, their leadoff hitter, runner at third, less than 2 outs. Opportunity, get a run on the board with an out. Gale's middle defense is playing back. Kashimoto and Medem
Top of the order, Dean West. Strike one. He struck out in the first inning to lead off the ball game. Kretsch, along with his catcher Ian Armstrong and third baseman Ian Josephson, all played together in high school.
Incredible.
They played at Sarah High School in San Mateo. Chopper, that'll score the run. Cody Kashimoto ranging toward the middle and makes the play at first base. Godoy comes in, and it's 3-0 Bruins.
Just outstanding situational hitting by Dean West. Put the ball in play. Another run on the board for the Bruins. But already, Roxy, don't you sense the Bruins offense? It's a little bit different today.
Ball one to Rock Chalowski here with 2 outs. Welcome those of you just joining us. It just saw Arkansas hold off Northeastern and the Razorbacks into a regional final. Here it's 3-0 UCLA. 2 outs, top of the second. And the presumed #1 pick in the Major League Draft, Rock Chalowski at the plate for UCLA. He's already scored a run. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. As an RBI single in the first from Roman Martin. With UCLA, the designated visiting team in this game, the way the format works for these regionals. And then here in the second, the RBI double by Trey Godoy. And then Dean West in the ground out brought in another run. And it's 3-1 now on Chalowski.
Well, the concern for Eric Valenzuela and the Gales is Sam Kretsch. His pitch total right now is 37 already, just through 1 2/3.
Kretsch, the kick, the pitch. Mighty cut by Chalowski, and it's full on the UCLA shortstop.
Took a little bit off his fastball. You see it's 89. Kretsch can get a fastball up to 92, 93, so that's what they would call effectively a BP fastball.
Here comes. Reaching for it over the mound, charging it Cody Kashimoto, the second baseman, gets some steam on that throw to first to get Chalowski. The Bruins are gone, but they get 2 runs on 2 hits. We're going to the last of the second inning. 3-0 UCLA. Los Angeles Regional, and Cal Poly, the Mustangs, the Big West tournament champs, already in the regional final, the 3 seed. They will get our winner tonight, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Broadcast network to be announced.
And our regional here is matched up with the Morgantown regional in West Virginia.
Ian Josephson leads off the second for St. Mary's, the freshman third baseman. And he looks at a strike from Angel Cervantes.
Very important for Angel Cervantes to get a shutdown inning after his Bruins gave some more runs. Key to a shutdown inning, get the leadoff hitter out.
346 hitter. 1-1 on Josephson, who's 2 for 7 in the regional, second team all West Coast Conference this year. The freshman from San Mateo, California. The 1-1. That's an off speed down low. 2-1 the count on Josephson. Bears repeating the legacy from Serra High School in San Mateo.
Has there been some other guys?
Not just these three. And I don't know where they would rank on the list, but the top 2 are about as good as you can get in their respective sports.
Can I guess?
You know the answer. I've talked about it already.
Can't you just play along and make believe that the listeners and viewers can?
Did you know before I brought it up for the first time?
Oh boy, Dad.
Tom Brady, Barry Bonds. Serra High School, San Mateo, California. 2-2 pitch. And just missed from Cervantes, and it's full on Josephson, leading off the home second for St. Mary's. The Gales, the 4 seed in this regional. And you and I have talked about it all weekend, Wes. This is not your run-of-the-mill 4 seed.
No, you don't find 4 seeds with 3rd best batting average in the country.
Line the other way, and a sharp single for Josephson to give St. Mary's a start in the last of the second. Leadoff base runner Josephson on. The NCAA Regionals coverage for all 16 sites continues later tonight on ESPN Plus and all the if necessary games tomorrow. And on the ESPN app. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all NCAA championships. And Wes alluded to it, St. Mary's as a team. 329. Popped up into right by Jared Medham. It hangs up there, and Phoenix Call over and in. And he hauls it in. 1 gone. Back to first goes Josephson.
How about the versatility of Phoenix Call, Roxy? He's played second base when Will Gasparino got his 1-game suspension. They run him out to center field. Today, because Peyton Brennan was injured on Friday, the regular starting center right fielder for the Bruins, Phoenix Calls run out to right field.
Nick Allred, the left fielder for the Gales, 301 hitter, is each of the first 8 batters in the St. Mary's lineup are all hitting better than 300.
Just insane.
Short lead for Ian Josephson, being held by Mulevai Lavu, and a pitch clock violation. As Cervantes, sensing the pitch clock was expiring, then pivoted to make a move, but he was too late, and an automatic ball, and it's 1-0 on Allred. Cervantes the pitch. And that is a called strike, evening the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Allred's from Whittier down here in Southern California, but played the last 2 years at San Francisco State. It's John Savage, the head coach of the Bruins. A little animated, wanting further explanation on he felt that Cervantes made a move in time. To third, Roman Martin to second. The turn, Aguayo throws it away, and running it down behind first base is Mulevai Lavu. But they do force Ian Josephson get the lead runner at second base. And on the fielder's choice, Allred is on with 2 down.
Well, the #1 thing you want to do as a third baseman here is make sure of the first out, which Roman Martin does. Good feed to Aiden Cervantes. Aguayo at second base. Just hangs on to it a little bit too long, and
2 down, Allred at first, and now the 9-hitter for St. Mary's, Cody Kashimoto. Switch hitter batting for the left, 269 for the senior. He lines that one the other way, and that is in there for a hit. Allred stops at second, and Kashimoto ambushes Cervantes in the first pitch, and it gets the Gales to the top of the order with 2 on and 2 out. St. Mary's stranded 2 in the first inning and putting pressure on Cervantes again here in the second.
Well, this is what the Gales have done the entire year. They're not concerned one bit if they're chasing early in the game, because they know how well they swing the bat. And to your point, Rux, huge hit from Kashimoto right here, getting to the top of the lineup, and Tanner Griffith.
Ground out of the first for Griffith. 3-0 UCLA in the second. Cervantes delivers. That is down low. Nick Allred at second, Cody Kashimoto at first. Angel Cervantes. The pitch. And that is in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Cervantes. The pitch for UCLA. At the Big Ten tournament in his last start, he was the starter in the championship game against Oregon. He went 5 innings, did not allow a run against the Ducks. Swing and a miss by Griffith at the breaking ball.
Well, it's a slider, though. At times, John Savage says it looks like a curveball, and that almost looked like a 12-6 curveball.
That had the shape of a curveball,
didn't it? It really did.
He threw a season-high 91 pitches last Sunday against Oregon. In the air, that's trouble. Shallow right center, it falls in for a hit. Around third, Nick Allred, he will score, and the Gales are on the board. Tanner Griffith, a 2-out RBI single, 3-1 UCLA.
Well, they went back to the same pitch, although this time it's not down and in, and it's hanging middle for Griffith. And he said, thank you very much, and the Gales on the board.
Mound visit from John Savage. Elimination game, and both managers or head coaches you talk to, Eric Valenzuela and John Savage, who are both pitching gurus, by the way.
They are.
It's all hands on deck. You can't even think about the game tonight. They both reiterated, we have to win this one or there is no game tonight.
Correct. It's all about winning this game right now. Over the years in college baseball in the postseason, whether it be regional, supers, or the College World Series, many elite pitchers have been held back for tomorrow's game. That never happened.
3-1 UCLA after the RBI single by Tanner Griffith of St. Mary's, as the Big Ten Coach of the Year, John Savage, back to the third base dugout. And Diego Castellanos will be the hitter for St. Mary's. His single in the first, extending his hitting streak to 38 games. It is remarkable to be that consistent over that long of a time frame. The last time that Castellanos went without a hit, you have to go all the way back to the end of March. March 22nd against Pepperdine, the last time he went hitless.
It really is incredible when you think about it. I mean, you don't play every day in college baseball, so you got a weekend series, a midweek game, and to strap it up. Here we go.
2 on, 2 out. Cervantes. Here comes the 1-1. And it's high and away. 2-1 on Castellanos.
These are the last. This part of the lineup for the Gales, you do not want to fall behind on them.
This lineup can make you pay. Already 4 hits for St. Mary's. The pitch. And it just missed, and it's 3-1 on Diego Castellanos.
Now, over the years, if you pitch for John Savage, if you can't throw off-speed pitches when you're behind in the count, you will not pitch. John Savage, I doubt, is going to give in and throw fastball middle here.
Held off by Castellanos. He went with the slider that time.
I wouldn't be surprised if he went with something off speed again.
Activity beginning in the UCLA bullpen. Landon Stump is throwing. Full count, 2 down. Runners will take off for St. Mary's. half-hearted move by Cervantes, and that is a pitch clock violation. And it's a ball 4, an automatic ball 4, and the bases are loaded for the Gales. Second pitch clock violation already for Cervantes.
John Savage not happy at all.
We saw NC State's season come to an end in this tournament on a pitch clock violation. And John Savage,
he needs an explanation.
He's coming to plate umpire Kyle Nickel here. But unfortunately, the tenure of Elliott Avent at NC State, now they were trailing by 4 runs.
Right.
But it was a pitch clock violation that ended the game, and that ended the season for NC State. And already the second pitch clock violation here against Cervantes and UCLA in the first 2 innings of this elimination game.
Yeah, John's not happy at all. He doesn't get upset very much, but he is now.
Well, he was frustrated coming out of the Big Ten tournament, even though they won because of the ejection for Will Gasparino and serving that suspension.
Well, remember this time in the game. Don't forget this. My goodness.
And now Jack Meggs coming over, who runs the offense for Eric Valenzuela and St. Mary's. And Jack Meggs, a former Washington Husky, who played for his dad Lindsey at the University of Washington. And Lindsey Meggs had a great run at UW. In fact, took the Huskies to the College World Series. And spent the last 2 years coaching with Rich Hill over at the University of Hawaii. You want to talk about going into a good situation. He retired from that, was helping his son coach high school ball up in the state of Washington. And the ironic twist with this game is Lindsey Meggs, a former UCLA Bruin. He played here a few years ago. Makoa Sniffen lines it foul. He is 6 for 11 this year with the bases loaded, and he has a slam.
He doesn't get cheated. Not at all. Had a big double opposite field off the chalk in game 1 against the Bruins. RBI double.
Hit by a pitch in the first. Bases full for St. Mary's. Cervantes. And now it's 0-2.
Right now, you just got to go get him. Just go get him if you're on the mound for the Bruins.
Cody Kashimoto at third. Tanner Griffith at second. Diego Castellanos at first. Cervantes, the 2-strike pitch. And he went upstairs. Laying off is Sniffen, and it's 1-2.
Boy, Bruin fans understand how important this at-bat is right here with 2 strikes.
Foul straight back. And we'll do it again. 1-2 on Sniffen. He comes up there looking to swing.
Well, best case scenario for Angel Cervantes is something soft on the outside part where Sniffen hooks it over to Roman Martin for a 5-4-3.
Weak tapper foul, and Sniffen hangs in there, but Sniffen has walked only once in the last 22 games.
So that's hard to do.
He's gone 15 games without walking. He hasn't walked since May 2nd in a game against Seattle U.
Cervantes throws that same pitch, that slider, down and away. There's only one place that Sniffen can hit it, and that's hook it to the left side of the infield on the ground.
One-two pitch. Chopped. Stationed behind second. Fielded. Aiden Aguayo to first. Diving and out at first base is Sniffen. Close play, and Sniffen wants St. Mary's to challenge it. They will challenge. They're holding everybody up. It is a challenge from St. Mary's. The call on the field was out, and they're keeping UCLA on the field, not letting him go to the dugout as Sniffen diving into first base.
Well, Sniffen went to his helmet immediately when he got to the bag. Here's a throw from Rock. Chalowski at shortstop over to Lavu. Lavu has the ball in his glove. Now,
it was the second baseman Aguayo with the throw because the shift was on. He was the one up the middle.
My mistake, Rocks. We'll see Sniffen dive.
We'll get into our diatribe about
why
runners diving into first base.
Right.
At another time.
Boy, is this close. This is real close.
And again, the ruling on the field was out at first base. It would help UCLA and Cervantes get out of this jam. Huge call early in this game.
It's this angle right here that we see, Roxy. It appears that Sniffen has a case. This angle. It was a previous angle that we saw from center field. This angle on your left of your screen, it looks like ball's in glove. Hand is on almost simultaneously. This one here on the right is where it looks like the hand could be down. But again, for me, and I believe for you, Roxy, unless it's something obvious. Ball's in the air. It's in glove. Now, where's the hand? The hand looks elevated a little bit, doesn't it, Roxy?
It has to be definitive.
It does.
To overturn the call is a challenge from St. Mary's, and you get 2 challenges per game. And if you're correct, you get to keep the challenge. A look at the NCAA Replay Operations Center in Pittsburgh right now.
It's a big team in the postseason.
This play.
Yeah, it's one big family in the postseason. Huge call.
And this is a long review, and it appears we have a decision. Jason Bradley, our first base umpire.
After review, the out is confirmed. St. Mary's has 1 challenge remaining.
The out is confirmed. It's a 3-1 lead for UCLA after 2. John Savage, the head coach of UCLA, next. Heart of the order for UCLA here in the third, 3-1 in this elimination game. Game 5 of the Los Angeles Regional with Wes Clements and our ESPN crew. Roxy Burnson with you, and a lot of stuff going on, Wes, in that bottom of the second.
Well, there was. I mean, again, you're talking about an elimination game for the #1 overall seed in the country and a feisty, and both of our opinions, not the normal run-of-the-mill #4 seed team in the St. Mary's Gales.
Heart of the order for the Bruins, Mulivai Lavu, Roman Martin, Will Gasparino due up for John Savage and UCLA as John Savage joins us. And we got to ask you, John, those conversations you just had, I know a little frustrated. What can you share with us about your talking to with the umpires?
I just, you know, it felt like a 10-second clock. You know, I mean, it just felt really, really fast. You know, you got to play by the rules, so, you know, it's fine. We'll figure it out. It just seems like the clock's been really fast. And, you know, we send pitches in. We've been doing it our whole lives, and we know the clock, and it just seems like he's really up against it every pitch. So, I guess we got to send it him a little earlier. Maybe the pitch before, maybe? I don't know. Send two at one time, huh?
Well, John, the resolve of your club throughout the year was never more on display than the 9th inning yesterday. What is it about this intangible part of your club that has enabled you to have the most comeback wins in the entire country this year?
They just believe in themselves. You know, I mean, the game's never over until it's over. You hear all that, you know, heard that for your whole life. But, you know, they believe in one another, and you know, they believe in 9 innings and, you know, the 7, 8, 9, and, you know, a lot of programs certainly do that, but you got to live it, and you got to really, it's got to be true, and it's got to be, you know, genuine. If it's not genuine, then, you know, you can talk about it, but they truly believe in one another, and, you know, they fight for one another. So as a coach, that's all you can really expect, or not expect, but that's what you want.
Well, win this pitch now, Roman. Your thoughts on Angel Cervantes so far?
It's fine. You know, he's made some pitches. He's made a couple mistakes, and they're a good hitting team. They can really hit, and he's made a couple mistakes, but he's fine. He's got good heart rate, and wow, how about that one? And then
Jared Medem makes the play after the rocket off the bat of Roman Martin, 2 outs.
It's you know, he's a freshman, and I think he's been groomed the right way. The timing of the whole thing. He started all kinds of Tuesdays, and we really watch his pitch count. And then he started his first outing was at Washington, which was a difficult task, and did fine there. And then he really pitched well against Oregon in the Big Ten tournament, and he's going to be very good for us for the next 3 years. It's just you know, it takes time. Everybody has a certain clock, and it you know, it can move fast for some, and it can move a little slower for others. And he's very young. He was turned 18 in the fall, and I think he was the youngest guy in the Major League draft last year. So he's got youth on his side.
John, appreciate the time. Thanks, you.
Appreciate it.
The Big Ten Coach of the Year, John Savage, 2 outs, top of the 3rd. 3-1 UCLA. Will Gasparino at the plate. Fly out in the first, and a quick inning for Sam Kretsch. Routine ground ball to short. Jared Medem handles it, and luckily for St. Mary's, that screamer off the bat of Martin hit the front slope of the mound and did not hit Kretsch. A 5-pitch inning for Sam Kretsch. 3-1 Bruins. Presented by Capital One. Jackie Robinson Stadium in Los Angeles. Game 5 of the Los Angeles Regional. An elimination game between the #1 national seed, UCLA, and the WCC tournament champs, the St. Mary's Gales. And it's a big event. The new football coach at UCLA is here. Bob Chesney made the cross-country move to take over the program here in Westwood. And he is anchored right down next to John Savage's dugout. Called strike to Ian Armstrong, leading off the home third for the Gales. Middle third of the order for Eric Valenzuela and St. Mary's. Bob Chesney had a lot of success. James Madison. Now the new coach here at UCLA is Armstrong in the air to center. Going back is Will Gasparino. Still going back at the track. It is gone. Ian Armstrong, his 16th home run. 3-2 UCLA. Center field over the batter's eye. That was hammered by Armstrong.
426 feet, an off-speed pitch left up in the zone by Cervantes.
Now it's Jacob Johnson, and he fouls it away. John Savage talked about it. He knows how potent this St. Mary's offense is. Both teams have their backs against the wall here today. One strike pitch to Johnson, who struck out his first time, and it's 0-2 on the Gales DH.
Now, last at bat, Cervantes got ahead of Johnson and then flipped him 2 soft pitches down and away and got the punch out.
Landon Stump back up in the Bruins pen, going up the ladder. 3 pitches. Cervantes strikes out Johnson, and it's the third for Angel Cervantes, 1 out.
Well, this is the pitch that Ian Armstrong, it's a changeup, and it's way up in the zone, and you throw a changeup to a tremendous hitter that Ian Armstrong is, and it's going to leave the yard more times than not. And to your point, Rocks, over the monster.
Ian Josephson, who singled in the second, his first at bat. 1-0 the count on Josephson here. Now for a home run, it does not need to clear the batter's eye, even though it did. Called strike to Josephson, 1-1. Armstrong's high school teammate. Mentioned the turnover in the St. Mary's, or rather in the UCLA athletic department. Bob Chesney, the new football coach. St. Mary's having a little bit of a turnover as well. As longtime basketball coach for the Gales, Randy Bennett recently took the job at Arizona State after a great long run with St. Mary's. And Eric Valenzuela, who left St. Mary's, then came back after 4 years at Long Beach State. Randy Bennett, now the new basketball coach at St. Mary's, and his assistant and former player, in fact, a former WCC Player of the Year, Mickey McConnell, elevated to become the Gales' new basketball coach. And I bring that up because Mickey McConnell was actually drafted in the Major League Draft back in 2011. He was taken by the Dodgers in the 31st round, which doesn't exist anymore as the draft only goes through 20 rounds. And Mickey didn't play baseball at St. Mary's. They drafted him off his high school ability. In that year, Mickey was the WCC Basketball Player of the Year, but the Dodgers drafted him, and people had talked about it, and I texted Mickey, just wanted to confirm that, yes, he was drafted in the 31st round of the Major League Draft. He was a terrific high school baseball player down in Arizona. Strike 3, and Josephson has gone looking. 4th for Cervantes.
Good comeback from Cervantes. This is a changeup that just locks up Josephson. Get a little reaction from Cervantes.
Two gone. Now it's Jared Medham for St. Mary's. The shortstop flew out in the second. Goes after the first pitch, a high chop to short. Top play, and Chalowski can't field it, and it gets out into center field. And Jared Medham will be on with a 2-out hit. And Rock Chalowski only had one play to try to charge it and field it on the short hop because Medham runs well.
Yeah, Medham does, and Rock knows that. And to your point, Rocks is charging this from the get-go, and the only thing you can do is run right through this ball with your glove down. And
Two-out base runner for Nick Allred, who reached on a fielder's choice in the second. 3-2 Bruins, bottom of the third. The pitch. And that's a called strike to Allred.
Just in the bottom of the third, you get the sense that 5 runs not going to win this game.
I had that sense in the first inning. Allred 1 for 7 in the regional. Transfer from Division II San Francisco State. As San Francisco State dropped their baseball program after last year, and Allred had to find a place to go. And Eric Valenzuela scooped him up, just making the move across the bay from San Francisco State, which is over on the southwest side of San Francisco, over to the rolling hills of Moraga, through the Caldecott Tunnel. 1-2 the count on Allred. One and 2 on Nick Allred. The pitch. That one's scooped up by Cashel Duggar. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So both athletic directors, Martin Jarman at UCLA and Mike Matoso, who's been at St. Mary's for a while, had to pivot quickly to make new hires in critical sports at their respective schools. Mike Matoso at St. Mary's, a big baseball guy. In fact, he was at USC when John Savage was the pitching coach across town for the Trojans.
Well, there's a lot of coaches that are not involved in baseball that are big baseball fans. Mick Cronin here, UCLA Bruins basketball coach.
Former AD Dan Guerrero is a huge baseball guy as well here at UCLA. Runner goes, fouled straight back by Allred. And we'll do it again, 3-2 with 2 down. Cervantes again ready to work. Lavu is backed off behind the runner who's going. And held on to by Duggar. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Cervantes. But a homer by Ian Armstrong makes it a 1-run game as we head to the 4th in LA.
Ian Armstrong with his 16th home run of the year. 3-2 Bruins. And we knew this was going to be a good one.
To UCLA, the #1 national seed. Their hands full with the 4 seed, the WCC tournament champion St. Mary's Gales, with Wes Clements and her ESPN crew. Roxy Bernstein with you at Jackie Robinson Stadium. UCLA a run in the first, 2 in the second. Single runs for the Gales in the second and third. And Cashel Duggar leads off the 4th for the Bruins against Sam Kretsch. 1-2-3 quick 3rd inning for Kretsch. And Duggar, a fly out in the first, is 0 for 1 in this one.
Well, you talked about it, Rox. That was such an important inning for Sam Crutch last inning. Very efficient. Starts the top of the fourth with just 45 pitches.
The other way, off the end of the bat, foul off the bat of Duggar. And it's a ball and 2 strikes.
This is pitches by inning, and you see the first inning for Crutch taxing 23. But to your point, Roxy, a 5-pitch third inning.
1-2 to Duggar. And that one's sliced down the left side out of play. And now with this pitch upcoming, it'll equal the pitches of the third inning and just one batter to lead off the fourth.
Yes.
Sam Crutch. 7th start for Crutch. 15 relief appearances this year, but he has better than 1 strikeout per inning. Is reaching for it and fouled back by Duggar. Crutch has good stuff, and it just seems like it's feast or famine with him this year. He was fantastic against Pepperdine, or rather against Gonzaga in the WCC tournament last Thursday.
Well, Eric Valenzuela told me prior to the game he is really effective when he's throwing strikes with all 3 of his pitches.
And Duggar with a defensive swing and somehow off his hands rolls it near the Gales dugout.
Well, this is beautiful. This is the beauty of the game of baseball. I mean, the last foul ball by Duggar, it was like he had no intention of swinging, but then he realized, well, I got to swing or am I just to stay alive. And
1-2 the count on Duggar. Again, Crutch the pitch. And Duggar fool couldn't lay off a pitch in the dirt. And the tag to complete the strikeout by the catcher Ian Armstrong. And there's 1 gone in the UCLA fourth as Crutch has now retired 7 in a row.
And this is a nice little slider.
Now it's Aiden Aguayo singled and scored in the second. Freshman second baseman for UCLA. Ball 1 from Crutch.
Mentioned early in the broadcast, Aiden Aguayo ended up starting at second base when the season started. Wasn't scheduled to start. Phoenix call was, but he was injured, and he got some valuable time in the lineup, Roxy, early in the season for the Bruins. And the hitting approach that he has the ability to hit balls in on the plate hard the other way. As I mentioned, very similar to Mr. Rock Chalowski did when he was a freshman.
And UCLA also dealing with an injury. Aguayo was injured, could not go on Friday. He was in the original lineup, was a late scratch by John Savage. But in their first game against the Gales on Friday, Peyton Brennan, a regular right fielder for UCLA, he is most likely unavailable, dealing with an injury which flared up in the first game against St. Mary's of this region. And that is a critical loss for UCLA. Lined over third, but that's foul off the bat of Aguayo. And not just Brennan dealing with an injury. And Brennan with 9 homers, a .290 batting average, and has driven in 51 runs for UCLA. Has started every game up until yesterday. But Logan Reddeman, the #1 starter for UCLA this year. 8-0, 2.87 ERA, a potential first-round draft pick in the Major League Draft coming up. Most likely not available also for the Bruins this weekend. I did watch him throw a bullpen yesterday. And John Savage telling us the likely timetable for him would be, should UCLA advance through this weekend, he would throw to live hitters this week and potentially be available for a super regional next weekend. And Aguayo, strike 3 call. And he didn't like it at all. He thought it was ball 4. And a frustrating walk back to the dugout for Aguayo. 3rd strikeout for Kretsch. 8 straight retired by the St. Mary's right-hander.
Well, Aguayo thinks his ball is down. And it is. There's no question it is. Ian Armstrong yanks it up about a foot, but it's baseball.
2 gone. Trey Godoy, an RBI double and a run in the 2nd. And the Bruins DH, freshman from Escondido, down near San Diego. (3-2) UCLA in the 4th. The 1-0. That's low. It's 2-0 on Godoy. St. Mary's a 3-2 win on Friday, and UCLA had to bounce back in elimination game yesterday in the walk-off against the Hokies as Godoy flares it out of play. And then last night, boy, Cal Poly was impressive.
Well, when have we not seen a Larry Lee coached team impressive in the post? We see it year after year after year after year. One of the best to ever do it.
14-1. They beat St. Mary's last night. Godoy, another one out of play. And Cal Poly starting a regional 2-0 for the first time. They've been to a regional final twice previously. This is their 5th NCAA tournament trip. But the first time that the Mustangs have started a regional 2-0. The pitch. Ground ball to second. Cody Kachimoto on a high bounce. And a short throw to first. And Sam Kretsch has retired the last 9 in a row. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 9-1-2 for the Gales. 3-2 UCLA. (3-2) UCLA as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Game 5 of the Los Angeles Regional, and the Bruins jumped out to a 3-0 lead. And St. Mary's a couple of runs to make it a 1-run game. Sam Kretsch is really settling in. The starter for the Gales has retired 9 in a row. And St. Mary's already with 6 hits. And again, this is a 3rd best hitting team in terms of batting average in the country, St. Mary's. Cody Kachimoto leads off the 4th, and he takes a strike from Angel Cervantes. Single in the 2nd for Kachimoto. And for the senior second baseman Kachimoto, it was his first hit of this regional.
Yes, it's early in the game, just the bottom of the 4th, but in this winner stays, loser goes home. It's innings like this where the 9-hole hitter and Kachimoto leads off. It's Very important for Cervantes to keep him off base. Otherwise, it flips over to the top of the lineup.
Chopped, charging in at second. Aiden Aguayo, tough play, quickly gets rid of it and gets the out at first. One gone. Well, we had the big WWE event on ESPN Plus earlier. This is like a wrestling loser leaves town match, right?
Well,
the elimination game.
No question about it.
ESPN is the home for NCAA college baseball regionals. Round-the-clock multi-game coverage. Scan the QR code below. Right there, ESPN Plus subscribers can access expanded coverage on Squeeze Play. They're in studio all day and the if necessary games tomorrow. Chris Budden, Chris
Berkey,
Burke, Mike Rooney, Matt Schick coming in later. He might be there already for all I know.
They lived there during this time of year.
Tanner Griffith, top of the order. RBI single in the second, 1 for 2 for the Gales center fielder. And it's 1-1 on Griffith. St. Mary's, again, winning the WCC tournament. And the West Coast Conference, to me, Wes, is a better baseball league than they get credit for. That St. Mary's was the 5 seed in that tournament. Now, there was a 3-way tie for third at that event with Pepperdine and San Francisco, and pushing one the other way is Tanner Griffith in his second hit. Hit number 7 for St. Mary's, and a 1-out base runner for Diego Castellanos. But they finished in a 3-way tie with those other 2 programs, and they beat Pepperdine in the play-in game to get into the double elimination format. The 2 seed was Pacific, and the Tigers got a bye into the double elimination portion as the 1 and 2 seeds, Gonzaga and Pacific, did not have to take part in those play-in games. And they finished in second by half a game because there was a tie between San Diego and Pacific because of a curfew. The Toreros had to go catch a flight, and they had to halt the game. It was tied, and that half a game gave Pacific the 2 seed and right into the Thursday double elimination portion of the tournament.
Amazing.
Pitch out, stand put is Griffith. Griffith has 17 steals, been caught just once.
And that's why you see the pitch out right there. It changed this whole dynamics of this at bat with the dangerous Castellanos in the box. When you have somebody who can fly like Griffith.
Ground ball to second, could be 2. Aiden Aguayo to Rock Chalowski on to first 2. Tailor-made double play ball. And a smile and a pumped up Angel Cervantes.
Aguayo over to Mr. Rock Chalowski for a big inning-ending double play for the Bruins.
our starting pitcher comparison, Angel Cervantes with his best friend, toy dinosaur Jerry, on the mound. Sam Kretsch, who has really settled in for the Gales, says the St. Mary's right-hander has retired the last 9 straight as we go to the 5th inning.
Well, one reason why they're both still out there is you see the base on ball column, just one between the two.
Phoenix Call leads off the top of the 5th for UCLA. Sacrifice in the 2nd. He drove in the game-winning run yesterday for UCLA. And it's ball 1 from Kretsch, and I was thinking about the way yesterday's game ended. It reminded me of a regional final game that I had back in 2022 when Stanford was hosting at Sunken Diamond.
I was not here.
And maybe why it's a positive memory for me. Right to third. Ian Josephson cranks it over to first. That's 10 straight retired by Kretsch. But this was yesterday, and how UCLA won the game against Virginia Tech in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, the Bruins had first and third, and Virginia Tech had brought in a 5-man infield, and Phoenix Call took a breaking ball, lined it in the left, and just like that, the miracle on the diamond happened.
That's what you've dubbed it?
I have. Most comeback wins in the country have the Bruins.
Now the top of the order, Dean West, 0 for 2 with an RBI. But back in 2022, Stanford and Texas State went to a winner-take-all Game 7. And Stanford was one of the national seeds, and they had their backs against the wall. They had to come back through the losers bracket of that regional. And they were down 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th against Texas State. And leading off the bottom of the 9th, like UCLA did yesterday, Tommy Troy, who just made his major league debut within the last week for the Diamondbacks, and Drew Bowser went back-to-back for Stanford to tie the game. And then later in the inning, and Dean West, it's a strike, it's 2-1. Trevor Haskins, who was seldom used as a freshman, ended up being a terrific player for David Esker at Stanford. And passed a drawn in infield with 1 out, had the game-winning single that won the regional for the Stanford Cardinal and sent them on to the Supers. Out of play from West, it's 2-2. That's the comparison I have was eerily similar, and it's funny because I was texting with David Esker this morning about it. And he had dinner with his son Xavier, who's the starting third baseman for Andrew Checketts at UC Santa Barbara. And he was having dinner with Xavier, and Xavier told David the same thing. That they saw the ending and how the UCLA game against Virginia Tech finished yesterday as West drives it out to right. Diego Castellanos is back. It is gone. Line drive home run, Dean West. 4-2 UCLA. Another solo homer for UCLA.
Well, it's a big one in this game by Dean West. It's a breaking pitch down and in. Deposit it over the right field wall. Gives the Bruins a 2-run lead. Dean West, Roxy, last year hit well over 300. This year he struggled early. Has hit much better since most likely mid-April.
Now it's Rock Chalowski, 0 for 1 with a run scored. Take strike 1. And if you're watching Chalowski, you'll see him look back frequently in his at-bats. He is looking at something. This is not just, all right, I'm just going to stare around and see who's watching me here. There is a method to this. As he grounds it left side and under the glove of the lunging Jared Medham, and Chalowski with a single and a base runner with 1 out as we take another look at the West homer.
Yeah, this is a breaking pitch down and in to West, and they've been saying this for a century. Don't throw sliders down and in to left-hand hitters. And this is one of the reasons why.
And that ended the run of 10 straight retired by Kretsch. Eric Valenzuela out of the dugout. There is activity in the St. Mary's bullpen. And a 4-2 lead for UCLA. Now Cholowski with the single, but I was alluding to his approach at the plate. And it's part of his rhythm at the plate.
It's part of his timing.
As he is looking back, he is watching the pitch clock and seeing it count down. And he wants to give the pitcher as little time as possible. And by rule, he's got to have eye contact with the pitcher at 8 seconds. And give the pitcher enough time to deliver the baseball. So if he's not set and ready to go by 8 seconds on the pitch clock, it is an automatic strike on him. But he is watching that. It's a timing mechanism for Cholowski. And then he gets set and looks out at the pitcher when he sees that clock at around 9 or 10.
Basically what he's done is control the pitcher because of that.
And he's controlling the at-bat.
Correct.
After the mound visit, Eric Valenzuela back to the first base dugout. Mulibai Lavu, the hitter, 1 for 2, the UCLA first baseman.
There's a left-hander in the Gales bullpen.
Fouled off by Lavu. So after 10 straight retired by Kretsch, homer single for UCLA. And every home run in this regional for UCLA has been a solo shot. That's Cam Staton, who saved the game on Friday up in the bullpen for the Gales. He threw 2 scoreless innings to finish that one off on Friday. 1-1 on Mulibai Lavu. One and one. The pitch. Drilled out toward deep left center. Going back is Tanner Griffith. On the run. It's over his head up against the wall. Cholowski stopping at third, and Lavu smacks a double to left center. 3 straight hits for UCLA.
Well, this is just something soft in the middle of the plate, and Lavu, as he's done the entire year, he'll hit it where it's pitched, and he finds the left center gap. Top of your bottom right of your screen, you'll see Cholowski, balls in front of him. Bruin set up second and third. 1 out with the opportunity to put another run on the board with just an out.
Infield up for St. Mary's. Roman Martin, the cleanup batter for the Bruins. 1 for 2 with an RBI, and he has stung the ball both at bats. And it's 1-0 on Martin, who's homered twice already in this regional.
Well, this is interesting. We're in the top of the 5th inning, second, third. Eric Valenzuela decides to roll the dice, pull his infield in. He's telling everybody he thinks this could be a turning point in this game.
Two and 0 on Roman Martin, who saved his best for the postseason.
Just have to be careful with Roman Martin.
Pulled, it's a strike.
That's what a hitter looks like when he's sitting on fastball and something off speed is thrown. Now, that said, Roman Martin hits the off speed pitches better than anybody in this Bruins lineup. He's already lined a base hit on an off speed pitch to right center early in the game.
3-1 on Martin. .375 hitter last year in the postseason for UCLA, and was the Los Angeles Regional most outstanding player. And he has swung the bat well with 2 homers already in this regional. He is 3 for 10. Ball 4, they are loaded for UCLA, and Will Gasparino.
That for me is just a intentional walk. And the Bruins offense from the bottom of the ninth in Virginia Tech, where they put up 3 runs, 5 hits and 6 at-bats, 2 for 3 with runners on, combined with today 4 runs, 7 for 19, as you can see, and 4 for 7, Rock, and that's exactly what Bruin fans were hoping.
It's fallen apart here in the 5th for Sam Kretsch. He is lifted. The Gales go to the bullpen. Bruins have him loaded with 1 out. The #1 national seed up 4-2 in this elimination game. Lefty Cam Staton entering. Is loaded for UCLA, and Will Gasparino coming up. 4-2 Bruins, and this was Will Gasparino yesterday.
Watch the location of this pitch, how down it is. It's almost knee to below, and he hits his ball out the other way. This youngster is a strong man, 6'7". The vulnerability is that he does have trouble at sometimes making contact, as we take a look at Sam Kretsch's numbers.
He'd retired 10 straight until the homer by Dean West, and they've loaded the bases, forcing Kretsch from the game. And Cam Staton, who was terrific in the ball game on Friday, got the save, rather the win against UCLA with 2 scoreless innings, but comes in with the bases full and 1 out. Lefty Staton, the junior from Auburn, California. And Gasparino is hit, and a run is in for UCLA. 5-2 Bruins. An inauspicious beginning for Staton.
Yeah, he just hung on to this slider. It's Gasparino and brings up Cashel Duggar. And the one thing we do know that we're not going to see from Cashel Duggar is squeeze bunt here.
0 for 2 Duggar. Infield up for St. Mary's. And fouled the other way.
It's a little interesting, and I'll tell you why.
Did you play it a double play here?
Well, yeah, it's a good point, Rox, because Duggar doesn't run that well, and you have a left-hander out there. He's going to throw him soft. Pretty good chance that he's going to hook it on the ground somewhere, but it is something to think about.
Kashimoto is a little deeper at second base. Good pitch from Staton on the outside edge. It's 0-2, and Duggar has hit into a team-high 6 double plays this year.
Right, but it all is dependent on and knowing what pitch is being thrown as a defender. If it's something soft, a pretty good chance he's going to hook it to the right side. Hard, maybe up the middle.
Big strikeout for Cam Staton. Duggar down on 3 pitches, 2 gone. That will leave it up to Aiden Aguayo.
just a slider, a real good slider, down and out of the zone. And if Duggar's had one problem hitting this year, it has been on off-speed pitches.
Aiden Aguayo singled and scored in the second. He is 1 for 2. Foul straight back, and with 2 outs, that means the infield can now return to normal depth. Staten going from the windup. On appeal, no swing, says Jason Bradley down at first.
And in a situation like this, you mentioned that Staten's going from the windup, and this is something that, as a head coach, you want your pitcher out there in this high leverage situation. If we take a look at the check swing, in the most comfortable position that he wants to be in.
Good changeup, and it's 1-2.
Let's see if Aguayo makes an adjustment, tries to put the ball in play, and when he does that, he's thinking inside out and the other way.
Base is full, 2 down. 2 runs in here in the frame. The 1-2. Fooled him on a pitch in the dirt. Aguayo strikes out. And Staten comes in. The hit by pitch, but then 2 straight strikeouts and limits the damage. 5-2 Bruins. Eric Valenzuela next. (5-2) UCLA as we go to the bottom of the 5th at Jackie Robinson Stadium on the west side of Los Angeles. Game 5 of the Los Angeles Regional. So we look at our bracket here in LA, and the winner of this game will play the Cal Poly Mustangs tonight in the regional final. Now whoever wins this game would need to beat Cal Poly tonight to force the winner take all Game 7 tomorrow. As Eric Valenzuela joins us here, the head coach of the St. Mary's Gales, and tough spot right there in Camp State. I know the hit by pitch, Eric, but he made some big pitches, and he's come through with some big moments for you this season.
Huge. Yeah, that was big right there. Yeah, cutter in, hit Gasparino, but came right back. I'm proud of him for getting those 2 outs. Those were big right there. Keep us right in this thing.
Well, Eval, your offense is one of the best in the country, obviously, but it looks like your entire lineup they're not even concerned if you're chasing runs early in the game.
No, you know, no, not all year. I mean, the problem is UCLA's pitching staff is one of the best, right? So, I mean, I know they got horses in that bullpen ready to go. So we have to do good and execute, and we got to, you know, we can't hit the ball in the air and have some easy early outs. We have to be tough outs and do all we can to get base runners. But yeah, we're right in this thing. We'll be all right.
Well, to your point, when you talk about the Bruins pitching staff, you elected to pull your infield in that last inning, and I'm assuming that's just because, hey, we're at the high leverage point. We can ill afford to give up any more runs.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely, yeah, and especially with West up, you know, we have to just save every run we can, definitely.
Eric, appreciate the time.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Appreciate it.
Eric Valenzuela, the Gales head coach, his second tour of duty in Moraga. He had a terrific run Then 4 years at Long Beach State, and now going back to St. Mary's, and has the Gales in back-to-back NCAA tournaments. It's another foul from Ian Armstrong, and they've only been to the NCAA field 3 times. All 3 under Eric Valenzuela. 2016 in his first stint, and now each of the last 2 seasons.
Doing it the same way by winning the conference tournament.
1-2 the count on Ian Armstrong, who hit a long homer in the 3rd. And he tips it into the glove. And the strikeout for Angel Cervantes, his 6th. And there's 2 away.
Eric's he's a real good one. This is a good fastball from Cervantes, and 76 pitches so far into the 5th inning, and looks like Cervantes doesn't want to come out of this game, does he, Rock?
Jacob Johnson has struck out twice. 2 outs, last of the 5th inning. And that one's ripped to left field off the bat of Johnson. It's toward the line. It is gone. Long homer. Jacob Johnson strikes for St. Mary's. His 3rd homer of the regional. All 3 against UCLA. Number 15 for Johnson.
Well, this is a changeup, and it's middle end, and it's obviously not where Cervantes wanted to throw it. On Friday against the Bruins, Johnson hit 2 home runs the other way on fastballs.
Ian Josephson, and he lines it out to right center. That falls in for a hit. A 2-hit game for the freshman Josephson, and now St. Mary's will get the tying run to the plate.
We're going to get a look at this changeup thrown to Jacob Johnson. Middle in. It's a strong young man here. Angel Cervantes' reaction.
Jared Medham goes after the first pitch again. All 3 at bats he has done that, and lifts this one out of play. Coming into the start, Cervantes had allowed just 1 homer in his previous 29 innings.
Well,
and he's given up 2 in this game.
This is not your run-of-the-mill number 4 offense. Number 4 seed, I should say.
Just missed to Medham. Boy, it looked awfully good from Cervantes.
Well, the velocity's still there. That's 94. Pittsburgh Pirates took this youngster in last year's draft, and he said, no, I want to be a Bruin.
Turned down Pittsburgh, and Medham shoots one out of play, and it's 1-2. There is activity in the Bruins bullpen. Landon Stump feels like he's thrown about 4 innings in the bullpen already. He's up again. Ball and 2 strikes on Medham. Here it comes. Line to center, right toward Will Gasparino, going back on it and flags it down to retire the side. The home run by Jacob Johnson. 5-3 UCLA out of the 6th in LA.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
Men's College World Series starts June 12th in Omaha. UCLA was there last year. They've made 6 College World Series trips. 4 of those coming under John Savage, including the national title in 2013 for UCLA.
Nothing like it. Charles Schwab Field.
Ball 1. Trey Godoy leads off the 6th, 8-9-1 for UCLA. Phoenix call, Dean West to follow here. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for UCLA. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for St. Mary's. The Bruins have stranded 5, the Gales 7 in this game. The winner will turn around tonight and play Cal Poly at 6 o'clock. Cam Staten, the pitch. And it's 2-1 on Trey Godoy. RBI double and a run back in the second. He is 1 for 2. Staten. Here it comes. And Godoy back to the screen. It's 2-2. Kretsch went 4 2/3, making the start for St. Mary's. Giving up 5 runs on 7 hits, and then Staten took over with the bases full and 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. And after a hit by pitch that forced in a run, it was strikeout to wiggle out of it. Full count on Godoy. Gorgeous Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles. I know weather has been an issue with a lot of the regionals across the country. Not here. We've had spectacular weather all weekend long. And it's strike 3 called as State. 3rd straight hitter he has fanned, 1 away.
Well, that's just a perfectly located fastball on the outside part. Locks up Godoy.
The Los Angeles Regional matches up with the Morgantown Regional. And in the final there, West Virginia leading Kentucky in the second. The Mountaineers need to beat the Wildcats twice, as Kentucky in the driver's seat of that Morgantown Regional. Arizona State is up big on Nebraska. But a problem for the Sun Devils, Landon Hairston was thrown out of the game for what was deemed unsportsmanlike conduct. That comes with a mandatory 1-game suspension, so he would not be available in the next game for Arizona State. Pass first and a fair ball. Phoenix call pushes one the other way. And a 1-out single, hit number 8 for the Bruins. And that will bring up the top of the order and Dean West.
Boy, this is just beautiful from Phoenix call. Feathering this ball right down the first baseline, flips it over the top of the Bruins lineup to Dean West, who in his previous at-bat left the yard to right.
Landon Hairston for Arizona State.
That's
the single
unbelievable
season home run record in Arizona State history this year.
And there are some legends in that record book of the Sun Devils.
Called strike to West.
Yeah, this left on left with Dean West, as good as a runner as Dean West is, I mean, bunt should be in play for him. It's just a part of his game. Left-hand pitcher falling off to the third base side. Ian Josephson playing back at third base.
There's a big hole in the right side.
There is.
With the runner being held by Makoa Sniffen. And with the double play position for the Gales, Cody Kashimoto cheating up the middle.
Well, very rarely are you going to double up Dean West because of how well he runs, but When a left-hander is up facing a left-hander, all you got to do is bunt the ball to this with a second base on the grass, just that area, and you're safe. You can walk to first.
2-1 on West. One out. Phoenix call at first. Staten delivers. Got under it. Left side of the infield. The shortstop, Jared Medham, takes charge. And he makes the catch. 2 gone. And now it's Rock Chalowski for UCLA. And we talked about it earlier, his routine to the plate. Keep an eye on Rock as he will look at the clock. Takes a glance right there. See him look back. Now ready to hit. Singleton scored in the 5th. Chalowski has scored 2 runs today. First pitch, skied. Foul right side. Makoa Sniffen may have a play, trying to find it, and he has trouble.
Oh, my goodness, what an effort.
You could see immediately he never felt comfortable locating the baseball.
Well, earlier in the game, it's very similar to Mulavai Lavu's effort on that pop-up, but this son, you can see Sniffen is fighting this from the get-go.
And he's got sunglasses on.
Yes.
Whereas Lavu did not. 0-1 on Chalowski here with 2 away.
We've seen this, so Rock, he's very, very aggressive. Going at balls out of the zone, and
two on Chalowski.
And it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you're St. Mary's pitching staff and Eric Valenzuela, we talked about it, he's an elite pitching mind. You don't have to throw a good hitter strikes to get him to offer. Don't do it.
I get it. You're in scoring position when you're aboard for Rock Chalowski. Would you think of sending Phoenix Call, who only has 3 steals this year? Even if he's thrown out, Chalowski will lead off the next inning.
He does, and that would be the case. Now, that said, because you have the left-handed Staten out there, you're going to have to go on first move, and you're just going to risk getting picked, to your point. Chalowski's behind in the count. A lot of what you said makes sense, and then somebody would say, well, that's Rock Chalowski.
Now he takes off. Ian Armstrong down to second. Safe.
Wow, what an effort from Ian Armstrong behind the dish.
Call just kept his foot on the bag as Cody Kashimoto reaching with the glove. That's a wild pitch, sending Call up to second.
This is just tremendous work from Ian Armstrong behind the dish. Blocks the ball and then throws a rocket to Kashimoto at second base.
We've seen this weekend why the scouts are high on Ian Armstrong, and he's a top catching prospect in next year's draft. Chalowski chasing a pitch in the dirt. He strikes out. The Bruins are gone. 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the home 6th. 5-3 UCLA. 5-3 UCLA as we go to the bottom of the 6th, and the Bruins got on the board first today. And the RBI single. And Roman Martin in the top of the first inning put UCLA up 1-0. Then Trey Godoy with an RBI double, 2-0 UCLA. But then St. Mary's came back. It was 3-1, and Ian Armstrong made it a 3-2 game with a blast to center. Dean West ended the run of Sam Cretchen, retired 10 straight with a home run that made it 4-2 UCLA. And then a homer by Jacob Johnson for the Gales, 5-3. UCLA as we go to the bottom of the 6th, and a pinch hitter to open up the last of the 6th for St. Mary's. And this is Dario Freschi pinch hitting. Batting for Nick Allred in the 8th spot. We saw Freschi as a pinch hitter late in the game last night, and he flew out. .245 hitter with a homer for Freschi this year. And he takes a strike as Angel Cervantes has already matched his season high of 5 innings pitched. Freschi out of play, and it's 0-2.
We're in the part of a game. The bottom of the 6th inning, John Savage is now starting to think about the Gales lineup in matchups with his bullpen.
(0-2) on Freschi. The pitch. Line the other way, out of play, and we'll do it again. As Dario Freschi, a freshman from Napa, up in Northern California. Pitch hitting for Nick Allred, starting the last of the 6th. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for UCLA. 3-9-0 for the Gales. And Cervantes tried the breaking ball, and it just missed inside.
Well, we talked about it. It's a slider, but John Savage has told us sometimes it acts like a curveball. And
one and 2. Cervantes the windup, and the freshman's pitch, and that's high and away again with the breaking ball. 2-2 the count.
This is the pitch you want to get Freschi out if you're Angel Cervantes. You don't want to go 3-2.
Here it comes. Struck him out again with the breaking ball.
Now that's a slider. You see the little difference right there between the previous 2 pitches that kind of look like a curveball. That's a little bit harder slider. 7th punch out of the game for Angel Cervantes.
Now a career best 5 1/3 for Cervantes. And Cody Kashimoto, the hitter for St. Mary's, singled in the 2nd. He's 1 for 2, and it's ball 1.
Well, 5 1/3 innings, given up 9 hits, so he's worked around the traffic and done a real good job.
And the 7 strikeouts, also a career best. 2-0 on Kashimoto, the top of the order on deck. And if you're John Savage right now, Wes, are you batter to batter with Cervantes?
Yeah, there's no, well, you're actually pitch to pitch, believe it or not. You really are.
Fouled back by Kashimoto.
Kashimoto helped him out. It's ball 3.
The bullpen has been cranking for UCLA since the 2nd inning. 2-1 on Kashimoto. The pitch. And he got hit. And there's a base runner for the Gales. Second batter that Cervantes has hit today. And a 1-out base runner. Stream all MLB out-of-market games, live or on demand, all in one place. Check out the ESPN app, your new home for MLB.tv. How about the big announcement on social media prior to the regional? Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, the former Bruin, telling everybody to pack Jackie and get him out here for the weekend to come out to the regional. As John Savage coming out to the mound right now for UCLA.
Bruin fans are going to give Angel Cervantes a nice ovation, well deserved.
5 1/3 innings. Angel Cervantes in his elimination game, the longest outing of his young career. And Cervantes also struck out a career best 7. And a nice ovation for the freshman. Bruins go to the bullpen, up 5-3 in the 6th. And battled his way against a powerful St. Mary's lineup.
Well, he really did. He got himself in some jams and trouble and feathered around some traffic, and he got out of those.
Angel Cervantes and his toy dinosaur Jerry worked their way through 5 1/3. And now it'll be the bullpen the rest of the way for John Savage in this elimination game. And UCLA nursing a 2-run lead with a runner at first and 1 out. And the new pitcher is Chris Grotus, who takes over. The junior from Anaheim Hills. There are his numbers on the year in his first appearance of the regional for UCLA.
Well, Grotus, his last 3 outings, 1 2/3, 3 hits, 4 earned runs.
1 out, Tanner Griffith. Top of the order is 2 for 3 with an RBI. And Grotus has a good move to first, and diving back is Cody Kashimoto. 7 stolen bases for the diminutive Kashimoto over there.
Well, with Griffith in the box now and Castellanos on deck, I really doubt that Eric Vellen's going to waylay, is going to risk sending the runner.
Here is Grotus from the set. And the pitch. And that is a strike, top of the zone from Grotus. And that evens the count, 1-1 on Tanner Griffith, as Grotus has walked 8 and 13 1/3 innings. He has struck out 13. He's got some hair on the fastball. Hasn't worked since the final weekend of the regular season. He pitched just 1/3 of an inning with a strikeout against Washington up in Seattle. In fact, only 2 appearances in May for Grotus. The pitch popped up in the infield. Rock Chalowski, the shortstop, settles under it and puts it away. Out number 2. 2 gone, and now it's Diego Castellanos, and he has hit just about every right-hander But lefties have been a problem for Castellanos, who singled back in the first, extending his hitting streak to a West Coast Conference record 38 games.
Well, and you know, somebody that knows those numbers is John Savage. Pretty much guarantee you that Grotus gets Diego Castellanos out here, he's done for the day.
Move to first. Elimination games going on all over right now, and it's good to see some of the other regions have caught up as far as because they were behind the 8 ball with weather. And a move to first.
This is part of left-handed, being left-handed. That's all that is. I don't think it's from the bench or anything else. Left-handers have just a little different personality sometimes. They're not going to throw the ball until they're comfortable. Sometimes they wear their hats a little sideways.
That one sails to the backstop. 390 feet. Cody Kashimoto on a wild pitch heads down to second.
It's just a fastball that gets away from Grotus. I think we're going to have a look at what it looks like coming right at you to your living room.
Reaching for it, serves it out to right center. And that wild pitch will cost UCLA a run. Diego Castellanos, an RBI single, his 50th batted in of the year. And it's a 1-run ball game here in the last of the 6th inning.
Just a beautiful job by Castellanos of hitting. It's a slider on the outside part. Castellanos just trying to put the ball in play, not do too much with it. Lines it out to center, and just like that, a 1-run game, and here comes John Savage.
Landon Stump has been up in the bullpen, and with the right-handed batting Makoa sniffing due, I think we may see a pitching change from UCLA.
Well, throughout the year, it's normally been Cal Randall in the 7th inning, Zach Strickland in the 8th, and then one of the best closers in the country, Mr. Hawk.
And that will be it for Grotus. He faces 2 hitters, gets an out and gives up a hit. And UCLA goes to the bullpen again. 5-4 tight ball game, elimination game in Los Angeles between UCLA and St. Mary's. Look at the bracket for the Los Angeles Regional. We're in Game 5, elimination game, as UCLA faced elimination yesterday in the walk-off against Virginia Tech. The winner of our game today turns around tonight, and they will play Cal Poly as the Mustangs are already in the regional final at Jackie Robinson Stadium. With Wes Clements and our ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein with you. It's gotten tight here in LA, and we knew the St. Mary's team was going to be trouble. And they keep coming at you offensively.
Well, they have, and because they beat the Bruins on Friday, the thought of, well, maybe we're not as good as the Bruins, that's not in their minds. And we've seen them battle back and stress out the pitching staff of the Bruins. And they're right in this game, and it's a game we thought we'd see today.
UCLA, the #1 national seed, became the first #1 overall seed in this tournament to lose their opening game. And they're going to have to try to come back through the loser's bracket, but they are in a dogfight with the Gales. New pitcher for UCLA, Landon Stump, who has been a starter most of this season. Out of the bullpen here. 2 outs. Diego Castellanos after the RBI single at first, and Stump will face Makoa Sniffen, the RBI leader for St. Mary's. And it's strike 1 from Stump. Stump pitched 1 inning in relief against the Gales on Friday. He did give up an RBI double to Sniffen. The pitch, and it's 1-1, and diving back to first. On the throw down there is the runner Castellanos.
Castellanos is 8 for 10 in stolen bases.
The pitch. Sniffen in the air to right, slicing toward foul ground, hustling over Phoenix Call, and he goes crashing into the side fence and could not hang on. And luckily for Call, he is okay. In frustration, chucks the ball away.
Cal Poly Mustangs are all lined up on the railing down there, and it's a real good effort.
Do you think he got any help? It's a team that's not involved in the game.
No. And that said, now he got the help.
After the play.
Yeah.
Stump the 1-2. Line back to the screen.
If you just joined us today, from Friday to now, in the daytime and at night, the wind starts blowing out to right. And balls that you would think are normal fly balls end up carrying 30, 40, 50 feet farther than they should.
Reaching for it, and Sniffen fights it off.
Just keep seeing Stump throwing fastballs away, Roxy, and we know fly balls end up going out in right field during the day here.
Landon Stump, the junior right-hander from Morgan Hill up near San Jose. Castellanos at first. The 1-2 upstairs. 2-2 on Makoa Sniffen. RBI single here in the 6th from Diego Castellanos, making it a 1-run game. And Sniffen tomahawks this one out of play.
But you see the location, right? All these fastballs have been up and away, and Sniffen is still getting some lumber on it.
He wants to swing.
Well, you got to be careful right now. You throw a fastball down away, when Sniffen's making contact with the fastball up and away.
In the dirt, smothered by the catcher, Cashel Duggar, and now it's full on Sniffen.
Well, now, because of the speed of Castellanos at first base, doesn't have to be a double to score him, with Castellanos going to be taken off on this 3-2 count.
And Ian Armstrong on deck is already homered in this game. And a mound visit by the catcher, Cashel Duggar.
It's a good trip by Duggar. He's just going out to make sure they're on the same page. Pretty good baseball game, isn't it?
High drama again here in Los Angeles. Overshift on defensively for UCLA in the infield. Huge hole in the right side. Popped up toward foul ground. Mulavai Lavu, and he tries to reach into St. Mary's bullpen, and it's just out of his reach. And I guarantee he got no help over there.
Roxy, I got to tell you, I'm very, very surprised that the Bruins are playing Mulavai Lavu behind Castellanos at first with a 1-run lead. The chances that Sniffen hits a ball on the ground to first, slim and none, but you give some extra steps.
10th pitch of the at-bat in the air right center. Moving over, the center fielder Will Gasparino taking charge. Stump wins the battle. Side retire to run for St. Mary's. Heart of the order for UCLA in a 1-run game to the 7th. For the #1 national seed, UCLA leading St. Mary's. The winner gets Cal Poly tonight in the regional final. And the Gales have never been to a regional final.
Gales have out-hit the Bruins today.
New left fielder for St. Mary's as we go to the 7th. Out of the order for the Bruins. Mulavai Lavu takes ball 1. He's 2 for 3 with a double in the ball game. Colin Linteo takes over in left for St. Mary's. Cam Staten, and he buzzes the tower. 2-0 on Lavu. Staten entered the game in the 5th inning. And Staten has already gone an inning and 2/3 after he pitched 2 innings here on Friday and got the win against UCLA. Sky, this will get out of play.
Well, the
it's
last
2-1 on Lavu.
Excuse me, Rod, but the last left-hander Lavu faced was in the 9th inning yesterday against the Hokies, and he left the yard.
Staten threw 39 pitches on Friday. 2-1. And he also worked frequently at the WCC tournament last week. The pitch, and fouled off by Lavu. And it's 2-2, and the Bruins completing their 2nd year in the Big Ten this year, and they've won back-to-back Big Ten championships. Jake Hilton, the lefty, in the St. Mary's bullpen getting loose. There is Hilton. Grad transfer from Pomona Pitzer down here. 2-2 in the dirt, full count on Lavu. And a historic season this year for UCLA. They're 52-7. They went 28-2 in the Big Ten And at one point dating back to last year, they won 27 consecutive Big Ten games. They also had a 27-game winning streak earlier this season during the course of the campaign. LeVou out in front of that one, and he drills it foul. And that win streak was broken up by the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos right here. UC Santa Barbara with a win earlier today against Tarleton. They've made the Austin Regional Final against Texas. And they snapped the 27-game UCLA winning streak. And that's ball 4. And a leadoff walk for LeVou. And that will bring Roman Martin to the plate. The Women's College World Series continues tonight in Oklahoma City. The 8th-ranked UCLA Bruins will take on number 11 Texas Tech. 7 Eastern, 4 out here on ESPN. About a half an hour from now. Kelly Inouye Perez is UCLA Bruins. Women's College World Series. Catch all the action on ESPN or stream it on the app. LeVou at first. Here is Roman Martin, 1 for 2 with an RBI. And it's ball 1 to Martin.
Boy, this looks eerily similar to the 9th inning when the Bruins were facing a left-hander yesterday.
And LeVou and Martin went back-to-back to tie the game when they trailed by 2. There's a mound visit by the catcher Ian Armstrong, but you alluded to the home run yesterday and how the bottom of the 9th looked, and Roman Martin tied the game.
Yeah, and Roman Martin with fastballs. His happy zone is middle down. And it's exactly what he got after fouling off, Roxy, about 3 or 4 fastballs up in the zone that he wasn't getting to.
LeVou the runner at first. Staten from the ready. Now the pitch. That is a strike to Martin, evens the count.
A little slide piece there.
Short lead for LeVou. Cam Staten, 34 pitches already. And Martin goes the other way, pushing it down the right side. Toward foul ground, maybe a plays. No, Diego Castellanos can't reach it. Maybe by half a step overran it and then had to jump for it over near the Cal Poly Mustangs, who are gathered in the right field corner.
Well, it's very similar to Phoenix Call attempt on a foul ball in the same locale, but you're right, Rox. It looks like he overran it a little bit, but the sun is causing problems on that area of this yard.
And by appearances, got no help whatsoever from Cal Poly. Got him. Staten with the strikeout. Roman Martin down swinging. And there's 1 out in the 7th, and that'll bring up Will Gasparino.
It's a real good slider, and the location is what makes this pitch effective. Out of the strike zone, looks like a strike until it's about 3 feet from the dish. The bottom drops right out of this.
5th strikeout for Cam Staten. Will Gasparino 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the 5th. And it's ball 1. And UCLA winning the Big Ten regular season and the Big Ten tournament. And John Savage, his team, 52-7. But losing the opening game of this regional and facing elimination for the 2nd straight day.
I can guarantee you that Mulavai LeVou is going nowhere with Will Gasparino at the dish.
Outfield is deep all the way around. They're playing Gasparino to pull in the infield. And blocked by the chest of the catcher Ian Armstrong.
Well, here's the scenario here. You have the left-handed Castle Duggar on deck who struggles with off speed. And I'm not saying they want to pitch, they want to walk Gasparino, but you have to be awful careful in this situation.
Turns on it. Line drive at third. Ian Josephson snares it going toward the line, and scampering back is Labuda first. Liner off the bat of Gasparino for an out.
Well, it's an off-speed pitch from Staten. Gasparino out in front of it a little bit, but he hits it right on the button to Josephson at third base, and a big out.
Now it's Cashel Duggar, who is 0 for 3. He's the only Bruin that hasn't reached today. In the air to left, over toward the line. Colin Linteo will have a play on it, makes the catch, and the new left fielder with the grab to retire the side. The leadoff walk is stranded. We are stretching in Los Angeles. One-run ball game. Middle third of the order coming up for St. Mary's.
This is a St. Mary's two-out offense today, and this is Tanner Griffin. And then Ian Armstrong leaves the yard down the left field line.
And the two-out offense for St. Mary's in this one. And it's a one-run game, bottom of the seventh. Ian Armstrong grounds one into right, going the other way, and beating the shift, and a leadoff single for St. Mary's in the bottom of the seventh. And he took advantage of UCLA being out of position right there.
Well, he did, and he just put the ball in play. And you're going to throw him out there. He just put the bat on the ball and found the right side of the infield. That's a normal 4-3 out. But to your point, you mentioned it on Friday, Roxy.
In the air, right field. Going back is Phoenix Call. He's to the track, at the wall, and he makes a leaping catch. What a grab by Phoenix Call at the wall. Jacob Johnson bidding for his fourth home run of the regional.
My goodness gracious. We talked about the wind blows out to right, and we already know Jacob Johnson can leave the yard, and Phoenix Call with the play of the game so far.
I'm not sure the ball would have gotten out,
no,
but it may have hit off the top of the wall had Call not jumped and caught it. For out number one is Ian Josephson at the plate for St. Mary's.
Well, we do know for sure if Cole doesn't catch his ball, the Gales are set up with second and third and no outs. One and one on Josephson, who's 2 for 3 in the game.
It would have been close right to the top of the wall.
Yeah, well,
And it looked like Call was about a half a step in front of the wall.
well, the timing of his jump is what the key is. And then Stumper says, I knew you were going to catch that.
What a catch by Phoenix Call. Ground ball right side. Aiden Aguayo shovels. Rochelowski. 2. Double play. What a sequence defensively for UCLA. The #1 team in the country. Flashing the leather here in the 7th.
We talked about the Bruins pitching, but this inning, it's all about defense. Phoenix Call with the play of the game. If he doesn't catch this, Gale's second and third, no outs. Ground ball, Aiden Aguayo over to Rochelowski, over to Mulavai Lavu. We're heading to the 8th.
For UCLA, 5-4. They cling to a 1-run lead as we go to the 8th. Aiden Aguayo started that double play to end the bottom of the 7th. Trey Godoy and then Phoenix Call with that leaping catch at the fence. Wow. That's the trio for the Bruins against Camp Staten. And Aguayo lifts it behind first into foul ground. Makoa sniff in, runs it down that side warning track. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 8th.
It's a real good play by Makoa Sniffen. We've watched balls on this right field line cause problems for both teams. Better angle for Sniffen. Able to run this ball down. Crucial leadoff out for the Gales.
Pinch hitter for UCLA, batting for the left-handed batting Godoy, with the lefty Cam Staten on the mound. This will be Dominic Cadiz for the Bruins. Pinch hitting here, a .261 hitter with a couple of homers for Cadiz. Freshman from Sherman Oaks down here. Singled in that bottom of the 9th yesterday as a pinch hitter. And Cadiz, who was drafted by the Brewers in the 15th round last summer. 1 out here in the 8th. This is the DH spot for UCLA.
Cadiz reminds me a lot of what Roman Martin looked like as a freshman. Big upside for this youngster.
0-1. The pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. 5-4 UCLA.
Never easy, is it?
You knew St. Mary's was not going to go away.
No, this is Eric Valenzuela, and he's got some.
Cadiz drills 1 out to center. Tanner Griffith is back. He will have room stepping onto the track, and he makes the catch as Cadiz gave it a ride to the deepest part of the ballpark. Record in one-run games that has not been the friend of the Gales this year.
Well, it hasn't, and when you take a look at the number, the Bruins are 10-3, but you probably think that number might be a little bit better, right, with the back end of the bullpen that the Bruins have.
Phoenix call, singled in the 6th. He is 1 for 2. Staten the pitch, and it's ball 1.
The one thing to think about if you're a Gales fan, 7, 8, and 9 are coming up for you next inning, but the Bruins are going to have to face the teeth of that lineup one more time.
Phoenix call has had a fantastic regional. Ground ball to short. Jared Medem up with it. Guns it to first. 1, 2, 3. Go the Bruins in the 8th. 7-pitch inning for Cam Staten. Bottom of the order for St. Mary's to the last of the 8th. Today's Capital One rewarding performance and the Bruins defense in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, Phoenix call goes back. This is with a runner at first and no outs, and he pulls this ball in, and then the 4-6-3 double play that end the inning. We talked a lot about the Bruins pitching staff, but it was all defense in the bottom of the 7th.
Now it's the last of the 8th in a one-run game. The winner will stick around and play Cal Poly in the regional final tonight.
Cal Poly down the right field line and just hanging over the fence.
The Bruins have not trailed in this game, but St. Mary's is right on their heels all afternoon. New pitcher here in the last of the 8th, and the flamethrower Cal Randall out of the bullpen for John Savage and UCLA. And he will face the bottom of the order for the Gales. Jared Medem, Colin Linteo, Cody Kashimoto.
Well, the goal for John Savage and the Bruins to not have to face the top of the lineup for the Gales in this inning. 7, 8, 9 for the Gales.
Jared Medem 1 for 3, took the first pitch for the first time in the ball game. It's now 2-0 on the Gales shortstop. Randall, an ERA of exactly 355 strikeouts in 30 innings. He pitched a scoreless inning yesterday against Virginia Tech, and he also worked a scoreless frame against the Gales on Friday.
Got helped out a little bit by Medem there. Two and one.
The pitch fouled off by Medem. The 8th inning this year for St. Mary's. Offensively, it's been their most productive inning of the season. They have scored 55 runs in the 8th inning this year. This is game number 62 for the Gales. The pitch. Tipped into the glove. The strikeout for Randall. One gone.
Well, this is just a 99-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone.
Now a pinch hitter for St. Mary's, batting for Colin Linteo, Micah Nicholson. Switch hitter will hit from the left side against Randall. Sophomore from El Dorado Hills, suburb of Sacramento. And Micah Nicholson, one out here in the last of the 8th inning, will hit for St. Mary's. .333 hitter and 36 at bats. He has a home run. The pitch and a strike. Nicholson 3 for 8 as a pinch hitter this season. Only from the stretch, Cal Randall. Foul back, and it's 0-2.
Randall is just throwing darts right now.
98. 6'4", right-hander from Discovery Bay in the East Bay. Not too far from St. Mary's. And prepped at Powerhouse De La Salle. Foul back. And he was a teammate of Tanner Griffith of St. Mary's in high school at De La Salle.
Well, Bruins fans are hoping that he doesn't face his teammate this inning.
Same graduating class. The De La Salle Spartans, fouled back out of play by Micah Nicholson. De La Salle was known for football, and they had the longest winning streak in the history of high school football under the legendary Bob Ladouceur up there at De La Salle. One and two, the count on Micah Nicholson.
There's no mystery if you're a Gale hitter what you're going to see.
Get ready for high octane. It's coming. He's bringing it. And that's inside. At least it sounded inside.
It did. 98.
Two balls, two strikes. Randall, the pitch. And it's just low.
Bruin fans are not happy.
About 2,000 groaning powder blue and gold fans thought it should have been strike three. Full count on Nicholson, one out. The pitch. Skipped him out, elevating. Blew him away with 99.
This is just some gas at the top of the zone. Hard to catch up to a pitch up there coming this hard.
Now it's Cody Kashimoto for St. Mary's. Singled back in the second, 1 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch and he has scored a run. Randall. Ground ball left side to his right. Rock Chalowski. Off balance throw. Got him at first on a bang bang play. Wow. Phenomenal play again defensively for the Bruins. This time Rock Chalowski.
The last 2 innings, the Bruins have laid out some leather in some big time moments. And you're talking about potential #1 pick in the MLB draft makes this play to end the bottom of the 8th.
First 1, 2, 3 inning of the day for UCLA as we go to the 9th in a 1-run game. Baseball regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Not sure what's in the Bruins' wallets, but they're flashing leather today. Their defense has been
the past 2 innings.
spectacular.
It's a highlight reel.
It's kept them in front, clinging to a 1-run lead as we go to the 9th in an elimination game. Dean West, top of the order for the Bruins. And it's ball 1 as Cam Staton has been mowing them down. 3 2/3 innings of scoreless 1-hit relief, 5 strikeouts for the Gales southpaw.
What are the odds that we head to the 9th inning where both clubs have their leadoff hitter up? The Gales will have their leadoff hitter up in the bottom half, and West in the top of the 9th here.
1-1. West homered back in the 5th inning. 1 for 4 in the game. In the air, playable, right center. Tanner Griffith is there, and he makes the grab out number 1. And there's 1 gone at the top of the 9th, and the Bruins were up a run for the time being. They have won 78 straight games when leading after 8. It was UC Irvine that came back and beat him in April of 2024. The last time they lost when leading after 8. Staton has retired 7 straight. Rock Chalowski pops it up, foul right side. Makoa sniffing near the dugout, slides, and he caught it. What a grab by Sniffin. St. Mary's playing some defense too.
Well, we say it all the time. It's the best game in the world, and it's plays like this that contribute. What a play by Makoa Sniffin.
And he cradled it.
Yes, he did.
Trapped it to his body as it was out of his glove, and he just kept it with the right arm in tight for the out.
Well, how about Cam Staton? His pitcher was over there as well, hustling.
2 outs, and now it's Mulivai Lavu. 2 for 3, single, a double. He's also walked, and it's ball 1.
How important would 1 more run for the Bruins be? The top of the Gales lineup coming up next inning.
New left fielder is Braden Gutierrez, by the way, for St. Mary's. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Staton the 1-0. 2-0 on Lavu. As Lavu drew the walk against Staton in the 7th, the only walk he has issued, and the only hit that UCLA has against Staton since he entered in the 5th was the single by Phoenix Call with 1 out in the 6th.
This is a be careful pitch from Staton. Real good pitch at the bottom of the zone on the outside part.
Easton Hawk, the closer for UCLA, in the bullpen. Well, the bullpen is firing on the other side for St. Mary's just in case Staton runs into trouble here. He has been magnificent out of the bullpen. Called strike, and Lavu doesn't like it.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame Lavu. I mean, my goodness.
It was probably ball 3.
I'll just go ahead and tell you it was ball 3.
Two and 2 on Lavu. The pitch, and it's full. Lavu with 2 outs in the 9th.
This is where you can't just throw a fastball down the middle. Lavu will hit it on top of the batting cages out there.
And it's ball 4 and a 2-out walk. And Lavu is on. Roman Martin coming up to clean up batter for UCLA.
And that's a respect that St. Mary's has for Mulivai Lavu. They throw him a 3-2 breaking pitch and bring up Roman Martin, the man who hit the game-tying home run yesterday against a left-handed Hokie pitcher.
Staton struck out Martin in the 7th. RBI single way back in the first for Roman Martin. 1 for 3. LeVou, the runner at first. Huge hole in the right side of the infield. The outfield is playing as deep as you can.
Well, rightly so. You can ill afford to give up another run if you're the Gales, and the Gales are in no doubles.
Mound visit for Ian Armstrong. Ian Josephson, the third baseman, you can see playing deep and hugging the line. And this was Roman Martin yesterday in the 9th inning.
It's a fastball down. Didn't take long to get out to left.
Two outs, a runner at first for the Bruins. The 1-0 pitch. Strike called and a good breaking ball.
Sure was. Roman was sitting on fastball, you could tell.
Martin, line drive, left center. That's into the alleyway. LeVou on his way to third, and they're going to stop him, a late stop sign. And pulling into second base, Roman Martin rips a double to left center. And by the left fielder, Braden Gutierrez, playing so far back, it cuts the ball off and prevents LeVou scoring from first base.
That's exactly why the Gales were in no doubles. And you'll see the base running. LeVou at the top of your screen, but Jake Palmer is the third base coach for the Bruins, and he was in great position as you take a look at LeVou. But Jake Palmer, the third base coach for the Bruins, is in great position. LeVou can see him, and he just put up the stop sign.
Now it's Will Gasparino. I was just about to ask you, should they walk him intentionally? They will, because a left-handed batting Cashel Duggar is on deck.
Right, and Cashel has had trouble against off-speed pitches this year and left-handed pitches. This is a no-brainer.
They are loaded with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. 5-4 Bruins. And Duggar, some last-minute instruction from Bryant Ward, who runs the offense for John Savage. And Ward has been with John Savage now 11 seasons and well-schooled in running this UCLA offense.
He is. He's one of the good ones across the country. And, you know, Duggar almost has 40 RBIs for the year, Roxy. So it's not like your normal 6-hole hitter in the lineup.
Duggar is 0 for 4, has struck out twice, and we'll get a mound visit from Eric Valenzuela here.
Well, why not? And you need to make sure you're on the same page in a situation like this in the biggest game of the year.
Duggar is the only Bruin batter that has not reached today. As our bracket for the Los Angeles Regional, as UCLA held off elimination yesterday and trying to do the same here, in St. Mary's fighting him tooth and nail. And Cal Poly waiting in the wings, literally. They're all leaning over the right field fence down there. They'll get the winner of this game tonight in the regional final. And whoever wins this game would need to beat the Mustangs tonight to force a winner-take-all Game 7 tomorrow.
And now, Roxy, as you talked about the Gales playing no doubles defense previously, now the Gales outfield, in my opinion, needs to come up as much as they can to have an opportunity if Duggar gets a hit to throw the runner at second out at the dish.
Duggar 3 for 12 with the bases full this year. Staten will go from the windup. 2 outs in the 9th. Ball 1 to the Bruins catcher. UCLA just 1 for 7 today with runners in scoring position.
When Duggar's right, he's hitting the ball the other way.
Called strike from Staten evens the count. 1-1 as Staten has thrown 4 1/3 innings, now 61 pitches. After he threw 39 and got the win on Friday. The pitch. The other way toward the line, moving over, reaching out and making the catch. Braden Gutierrez. The Bruins leave him loaded as we go to the bottom of the 9th in a 1-run game. Top of the order for St. Mary's, 5-4 UCLA. CAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? I can tell you that there's butterflies in everybody's stomach right here at Jackie Robinson Stadium.
And
the way this game is playing out.
What a baseball game we were gifted to today.
Top of the order for St. Mary's, 5-4 UCLA. Bottom of the 9th, Tanner Griffith, Diego Castellanos, Makoa Sniffen for Eric Valenzuela and the Gales. First pitch down the left side, that's pushing toward foul ground. And high school teammates, classmates at De La Salle.
You know, it's the last.
In the biggest spot here in the bottom of the 9th, facing each other.
They don't know each other right now. And the Bruins are in no doubles, just like the Gales were in the previous inning.
1-2-3-8 for Randall. A 1-strike pitch, and that's high. 1-1, and Randall throwing nothing but gas at the Gales. Tanner Griffith, an RBI single in the second. He is 2 for 4.
Bruins defense, Roman Martin on your left side of your screen, hugging the line, outfield deep.
The 2-1. Inside, it's 3-1.
Well, you know what's coming if you're Tanner Griffith.
The closer, Easton Hawk, is in the bullpen. But John Savage electing to go with Cal Randall here. Lined foul.
And this is how good Cal Randall's fastball is. Tanner Griffith knows what's coming, and it's 99, and Griffith fouled it over the third base side.
Line to center, and Griffith with a single to open up the bottom of the 9th. Third hit for Tanner Griffith. The tying run is on, and Diego Castellanos coming to the plate. already extending his hitting streak to 38 games. But first, here comes John Savage. And they will now summon Ethan Hawke, who started out of the bullpen, then goes back. Well, no signal from John Savage as of yet.
There's a lot going on here. You have Tanner Griffith at first base, who leads the Gales in stolen bases. You have Diego Castellanos, who has got tremendous bat-to-ball skills.
And now they will make the change. Easton Hawke, who has given up runs in each of the last 2 games after going 25 consecutive appearances without allowing an earned run. And after the leadoff single, John Savage will now turn to Hawke to try to close it out. Are you surprised the way that John Savage has handled the ninth in terms of not going to Hawke immediately now after one batter bringing him in, considering he's been among the best closers in the country all year?
I'm not, and I'll tell you why. It's because what John saw Randall give him in the 8th inning, which was electric. It was nothing but gas, filled up the strike zone, and I'm sure John was trying to go pitch by pitch and hitter by hitter in this inning in case Randall was able to get Griffith out. He was going to leave him out there, but until there was a base runner, he wasn't going to go to Hawke. But back to what we were talking about, this is a big situation here. There's a lot on the plate for John Savage and his defense. A lot of pressure on Duggar behind the dish, just nursing a 1-run lead. Your best base stealer is at first base for the Gales, and Tanner Griffith.
Easton Hawke, 3rd straight game, gave up a homer in the 9th. That was the difference to Jacob Johnson on Friday against St. Mary's in a 3-2 Gales win. And then yesterday against Virginia Tech, gave up a run. And then the Hokies carried that 2-run lead to the bottom of the 9th before UCLA came back and miraculously won it. Our bracket. Elimination game. Tonight at 9 Eastern, 6 out here. Cal Poly against our winner.
What's better than this?
Easton Hawke, a 1.79 ERA, 7-3 with 14 saves. Griffith at first, and now it's Diego Castellanos. 2 for 4, or rather 2 for 3 in the game with an RBI. He's also walked. Squares, and it's ball 1.
Yeah, and this is part of, this is just baseball and throwing a seed in the Bruins dugout. Hey, we might bunt one of our best hitters right now.
He does have 4 sacrifice bunts this year. 2-0. Hawke needs to throw a strike.
Well, he does, and you got both corners in Lavu. Of course, he's holding on the runner at first, but Roman Martin's playing out on the grass.
Two 2-0 on Diego Castellanos. Bunted. Easton Hawke makes the play, gets the out, sacrifice. Griffith to second, 1 down. The tying run out there at second, and here comes Makoa Sniffen for the Gales.
Now, it's a real good sacrifice bunt. Good decision by Hawke. Gales set up, tying run on second, and 3-4 coming up for them.
Sniffen is 0 for 3 today with a hit by pitch. Right-handed slugger. single season hits record. 95 this year for the Gales. And their RBI leader, did he go? Yes, on appeal, says Jason Bradley at first.
What you need to be concerned with is we're going to take a look at this check swing. An umpire, be careful. You throw fastballs away to sniffing with that wind blowing out to right.
I think UCLA got a gift. 1-1.
Well, now they're even. How's that?
The slider just missing off the outside.
You got to be real careful. I'd want to throw fastballs into sniffing right here and not away with that wind blowing out.
This time he went around for sure. 1-2 on Makoa sniffing. The #1 national seed UCLA clinging to a 1-run lead. 1 out, bottom of the 9th. The tying runner out there at second, Tanner Griffith. Easton Hawk, the pitch. Struck him out, chased a slider down and away. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, they went back-to-back sliders from Hawk. It's an interesting situation here. Ian Armstrong, one of the best on the Gales. First base is open. Yes, I know he represents the tying run. And yes, I know Jacob Johnson is on deck, who's left the yard twice.
Chopper, right side, over the leaping LeVou into right. Here comes Tanner Griffith to the plate. The throw, not in time. St. Mary's has tied the game.
Well, this is a fastball to one of the best hitters in the country, and it's just over the head of LeVou.
Mulavai LeVou did all he could. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Ian Armstrong bounces one into right. And a tie game, and now the winning run is Armstrong at first. In the dirt, wild pitch. Gets away from Cashel Duggar, and now the winning run for the Gales at second base.
Well, now a decision for John Savage. Does he want to mess around with Jacob Johnson or the left-handed Josephson on deck?
Johnson homered in the 5th. He homered against Hawk on Friday. Another pitch in the dirt. It's 2-0. The #1 national seed in trouble. Strike 1. Two and 1 on Jacob Johnson. The Gales have tied it, and now a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 9th. Off the end of the bat, 2-2 on Johnson.
Well, you take a look at the Bruins outfield. Yes, Johnson has power, but on a base hit, you have to give yourself a chance to throw the runner out at the dish. You got to roll the dice sometimes in situations like this.
The overshift on defensively for UCLA. Another pitch spiked in the dirt and fought off by the catcher Duggar as it rolls up the first base side, keeping the winning run Armstrong at second base.
Well, Duggar has been tremendous behind the dish defensively the entire year. Another example right here.
Full count, 2 down. Easton Hawk. The pitch. And it's ball 4, and there's now 2 on. In the grand scheme of things in this ball game, the walk means nothing.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's just a matter of who you want to face, and I think that's what John Savage was thinking. Who do you want to face with a runner in scoring position?
If Johnson wants to chase, let him chase. Ian Josephson is 2 for 4. Couple of singles. The freshman third baseman for St. Mary's. Hawk. Ball 1.
Changeup from Hawk.
And here comes John Savage. That's a quick move for John Savage to the mound. For him, by Savage standards. Leadoff single by Tanner Griffith. And then Savage made the pitching change, went to Hawk, and took out Cal Randall. Diego Castellanos sacrificed Griffith to second. Then after Makoa Sniffen struck out, Ian Armstrong chopped one into right field. And Tanner Griffith scoring from second base, the tying run. And then a wild pitch moving Armstrong to second. Jacob Johnson just drawing a walk. 2 on, 2 out. And it's 1-0 on Josephson with a winning run at second base for the Gales.
You just can't stop thinking about the defensive alignment the Bruins have played some of these right-hand hitters for the Gales. Especially when you have hard throwers out there on the mound. Going to be a tendency to hit the ball the other way.
Ian Josephson. Both sides on the edge of their seats here. Gales fans, you can see them right there. They're all standing. Ball 3 to Josephson.
This is UCLA saying, you know what? We're going to turn it over. We want to face Jared Medham on deck. This is all this is. It's 3 straight change-ups, and John Savage saying, you know what? We're not going to give in to this left-hand hitter, and we'll roll the dice. The base is loaded.
Strike 1, a fastball right down the chute.
My guess is this pitch is a changeup right here.
The winning run, Ian Armstrong at second base. Jacob Johnson, the runner at first for SMC. Popped up. This will get out of play behind the UCLA dugout.
Well, I was wrong, obviously, and it's interesting. 3 straight changeups and then 2 fastballs. Now you got to move your outfield in, especially Team West and left field. Because Joseph's just trying to put the ball in play, and if he flips it to left, you have to have a chance to throw out Armstrong at the dish.
Fouled off. We'll do it again. And the runners getting a head start with the full count. And that gives an edge to St. Mary's on a ball to the outfield.
It does. It does. Hence, sometimes in a game, you got to roll the dice.
Easton Hawk. The pitch. And it's ball 4. They are loaded for the Gales. The winning run at third. And now it's Jared Medham for St. Mary's. The senior shortstop. Ian Armstrong at third, Jacob Johnson at second, and Ian Josephson now at first base, and Jack Meggs, who runs the offense for St. Mary's, and Eric Valenzuela summoning Medham for a last conversation here.
And now this is where numbers and statistics matter. Just 13 of 67 hits that Medham has gotten this year have been extra base hits. So you know you can bring your outfield well in to take away the little dunker, the short line drive. Puts a lot of pressure on Castle Duggar behind the dish, now with the runner at third.
Met him singled in the third. He is 1 for 4, and it's ball 1. Met him 4 for 10 this year with the bases loaded. The winning run at third. 5-5. St. Mary's has tied it here in the bottom of the ninth and now trying to win it. Fouled off by Jared Meadow. One and one. Easton Hawk. Ball 2. Ground ball to third. Scooped up. What a play, Roman Martin. We're going to extras in LA. Wow. Roman Martin flashing the leather and just reaching for it off the side and somehow comes up with it. And UCLA escapes the ninth. And we're going to a 10th. After St. Mary's tied it, Ian Armstrong single knotted the game at 5. And then they load the bases, put the pressure on UCLA. And Roman Martin flashing the leather.
Boy, the defense from the Bruins the last 3 innings, off the charts. And this is such a tough play by Roman Martin to make. And it's immaculate. And he gets to the bag to end this inning. My goodness, Roxy.
You know any good cardiologists?
My gosh. Wow. Oh.
We're going to the 10th inning in a 5-5 game. The #1 national seed pushed to the brink here by St. Mary's as the Gales got that run and had the winning run at third with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, but it took a terrific defensive play by Roman Martin to send us to a 10th inning here at Jackie Robinson Stadium. With Wes Clements and our ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein with you. And I thought it'd be hard to top what we saw yesterday in the elimination game, UCLA and Virginia Tech. But St. Mary's and the Bruins have pretty much given us a sequel.
My goodness. You all out there, whatever you're feeling, so are we. I mean, this is amazing what we have been gifted here today at Jackie Robinson Stadium. You're talking about a 4 seed, well, I think we all believe wasn't and shouldn't have been a #4 seed, and they're basically telling everybody why and showing everybody why. What a 9th inning.
Well, at least a 4 seed that shouldn't have been sent to the #1 national seed. In the 9th inning, though, St. Mary's, Tanner Griffith set the tone with the leadoff single to get it going for St. Mary's in the bottom of the ninth. And then John Savage made the pitching change, and Ian Armstrong tied the game, driving in Griffith. And then with the bases loaded and 2 outs, Easton Hawk, and this play by Roman Martin saves the game for UCLA.
Off the charts. A wicked Hawk.
Look at our bracket, and Cal Poly, as far as they're concerned, let these guys keep playing. The Mustangs get the winner tonight in the regional final. We are 5-5 to the 10th, and it's the bottom of the order. A new pitcher for St. Mary's. And on the mound is lefty David Roberts, his first appearance of the regional. Redshirted last year at Arizona State. Roberts, an ERA of 4.40. He's got 3 saves. And the lefty delivers ball 1. Redshirt freshman from Discovery Bay, up in the Bay Area. Aiden Aguayo singled and scored in the second. After showing Bunny takes a strike, Aguayo, the freshman, is 1 for 4. A season-saving play. by Roman Martin sends us to the 10th. Popped up. Shallow right. Cody Kashimoto going out. The right fielder Diego Castellanos puts it away. One gone. Now it's the DH Dominic Cadiz, who entered as a pinch hitter in a deep flyout in the 8th inning for the Bruins.
And we always talk about it in the postseason. You're going to advance in games like this, or in any game in the postseason. The players that you would least expect it from, the ones that don't have the names that are always in the headlines, are the ones that have the big hits.
And what can't be overlooked was the 4 2/3 of relief for Cam Staton of scoreless 2-hit relief.
Absolutely.
He gave the Gales a chance to come back, and they did, to tie it. Cadiz takes a strike. One and two on the UCLA freshman. David Roberts. Here it comes. Phoenix call on deck for the Bruins. Cadiz a high chop. That is a foul ball. Glove by Ian Josephson wide of the bag.
Well, I'll tell you somebody that doesn't mind the Gales and the Bruins playing extra innings, and that's Larry Lee, the head coach of the Mustangs. He hopes this game goes 18 innings.
Roberts pitched twice in the WCC tournament last weekend. There are the Mustangs anxiously waiting. 2-2 on the way. Cadiz bounces that one foul. Roberts has given up runs in each of his last 2 appearances, both in Scottsdale last weekend. Faced Pacific last Friday, gave up a run in inning and 2/3 and 5 hits. And then also appeared in the championship game, the if necessary game, as St. Mary's played USF twice last Saturday. And he gave up 2 runs against the Dons. And Cadiz takes ball 3.
Well, Cadiz is somebody, if you throw a fastball down the middle, he could hit it out by the trees. His previous at bat, he flew out to the track in right center.
Cadiz fights it off. Only 3 times has a #1 national seed forced into extra innings in a regional game. And here we are in the 10th. Line foul. And Cadiz ripped that one out in front. And we'll do it again. The last time it happened, North Carolina in 2013 beat FAU in 13 innings.
Cadiz is out in front of every fastball that Roberts is throwing. So I tell you, he's locked in and thinking pull.
10th pitch of the at-bat. Got under this one. Towering pop-up. The shortstop, Jared Medham, waiting for it to come down. 2 outs in the top of the 10th.
Threw him an off-speed pitch on the 3-2 count. Got him to pop up for a big second out.
As Roberts wins the battle, and now it's Phoenix call for UCLA, the 9-hitter.
We wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix call did something good for the Bruins. He's been in the middle of a lot of good for the Bruins in this regional.
1 for 3 today. 4 for 9 9 in the regional, and a called strike from David Roberts.
St. Mary's the home team.
0-2 on Phoenix call.
Dare we say advantage the Gales in this situation right now.
In the bottom of the 10th, they will have 8, 9, and 1 due. Braden Gutierrez, Cody Kashimoto, and Tanner Griffith. And it appears it'll be against Easton Hawk. Call skies this one. Makoa sniffing the first baseman. Right behind the infield dirt. 3 pop-outs and a 1-2-3-10 for David Roberts. St. Mary's needs 1 to walk it off.
Be a game recap here. Armstrong with the home run to center field to make the score 3-2, and Dean West with the home run to right puts the Bruins up 4-2. Jacob Johnson leaves a yard down the line and left, and then the big, huge hit by Ian Armstrong to tie the game up. And that's where we're at right now.
And St. Mary's here in the bottom of the 10th. They are the designated home team in this game, despite this regional hosted by UCLA because of the rules the way they're at. The Gales draw the luck of being the home team, and Braden Gutierrez leads off the bottom of the 10th. And it's strike 1 from Easton Hawk. First at bat for Gutierrez today is just 16 on the year. He is 5 for 16 with 2 homers. No. 0-2 on Gutierrez, the freshman from Bakersfield. Entered the game to play left field in the ninth, and it's 1-2.
Obviously, the leadoff hitter, the key for the Bruins to get out and for the Gales to get on.
Strike 3 call. Top of the zone is Hawk. Catches him looking.
This looked like almost like it fooled Duggar. Little run, but it's more so Duggar trying to yank the ball down that caused him to drop this ball.
Big first out. Now it's Cody Kashimoto. 1 for 3 with a run scored for the senior second baseman for the Gales. And it's ball 1 from Easton Hawk.
And now you got to worry about Kashimoto possibly laying down a bunt the other way. Roman Martin hugging the line. Outfield for the Bruins and no doubles.
Off the glove of Hawk. Second base knocked down. Aiden Aguayo, no play. The winning run is on for the Gales. The deflection off the glove of the pitcher, Easton Hawk. And that'll be a hit for Kashimoto.
Well, we'll get another look at it. Kashimoto can run. He can really fly, and there are times when pitching coaches want pitchers to get out of the way of balls.
Tanner Griffith, ball one.
That are headed towards defenders, but in this case here, Kashimoto can fly, and where Aiden Aguayo was going to have to field that ball, it was going to be tough to get him out at first.
Tanner Griffith started that rally in the 9th and scored the tying run. And Hawk missing with ball 2. Hawk working for the 3rd consecutive day. He did work 3 straight days last weekend at the Big Ten tournament. He threw an inning on Friday against Purdue, then 1 against USC on Saturday in the semis, and then against Oregon in the championship he threw 3 innings. Line foul by Griffin.
Have you ever seen a #1 overall seed push the envelope more than the Bruins have this year?
Two and 2 on Tanner Griffin. Cody Kashimoto, the winning run at first. Hawk, the pitch. Full count on Griffin.
Well, you're in real danger zone right now.
Three-two, runner goes. Ground ball to first, handled by Moulavai Lavu. Takes it to the bag for the out. And the winning run now at second for St. Mary's. And Diego Castellanos will be the hitter.
Well, John Savage has to make a decision. Does he want to face Diego Castellanos or the right-handed Makoa Sniffen, who is on deck? This ball's hit right to Lavu at first. Goes to the bag. Good choice. The runner, Kashimoto, was off and running.
And the decision has been made. They put Castellanos on and will take their chances with Sniffen.
We keep talking about it, but with real good speed at second base in Kashimoto for the Gales. The outfield, you have to bring them in.
And Jack Meggs will bring the offense in for a St. Mary's offensive conversation. Makoa Sniffen is 0 for 4, struck out against Hawk in the 9th. Look at the Los Angeles regional bracket. Cal Poly gets the winner. As the Mustangs are 2-0 with wins over Virginia Tech, and they clobbered St. Mary's last night. Two on, 2 out. Bottom of the 10th, the winning run for St. Mary's out there at second base. And it's Makoa Sniffen, the hitter. Strike 1 from Hawk.
Well, this is what Hawk fed Sniffen his last at-bat. Full variety of off-speed pitches on the outside part.
Just missed. Close take right there by Makoa Sniffen. It's 1-1.
The pulse of the stadium, what do you think it is? $150?
Ground ball to third. Into left field. Base hit. Rounding third. Here comes Cody Kashimoto. And St. Mary's has won the game. Makoa Sniffen with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th. Knocks out the #1 national seed.
Well, it's kind of fitting. Sniffen led the Gales in hits and RBIs. And Hawk hung him a breaking pitch. Found the 5-6 hole. Kashimoto to the dish. And the Gales advance to play another game tonight against the Cal Poly Mustangs.
Eric Valenzuela and the St. Mary's Gales stun the #1 national seed, and it's the first time the #1 national seed has lost in walk-off fashion in a regional game.
Well, it's the same breaking pitch that Hawk had been throwing to Sniffen on the outside part, except this one hung on the inside part. He finds the 5-6 hole. Dean West playing deeper than probably would want him. Kashimoto's speed. Easy run.
The Gales have shocked not just the UCLA Bruins, but the entire NCAA tournament. The #1 seed is out, and it's St. Mary's. This battle-tested team finds a way to win it, and it's Makoa Sniffen who comes through against Easton Hawk. You know you need a jersey for the second game, Makoa.
Yeah, I do. I'll get it back on.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Take us through that at-bat against one of the best closers in the country. What were you looking for? How did you come through?
Yeah, I mean, he was throwing me sliders that at bat in the 9th, and I was chasing at him. I just told myself, just surrender the breath, surrender to God, and just know that I was going to get another one. And he luckily left one over the middle, and I hammered it.
Well, you've had a knack for getting hits this entire season. Makoa led the Gales in hits, but you mentioned that slider. It's been on the outside part. That one hung on the inside part.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he has a good slider. He showed it to me, and everything was away, and then I finally got the one I was looking for, hung up over the heart of the plate.
Makoa, your team, you've played some tough ball games, were tested, whether it was last week or the West Coast Conference Tournament. What is it about these clutch moments that brings the best out of your group?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time, the gritty Gales. I mean, every guy puts in the work from the fall all the way through the spring, and no matter what, we're going to fight, we're going to claw, no matter if we're up, down. I mean, I just love this group.
How do you turn the page to get ready for another game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the boys are ready to go. That's a lot of momentum coming our way now, so I think we're going to stay hot and go get them tonight and get them tomorrow.
Makoa, congratulations. We'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you so much.
Makoa Sniffen walks it off for St. Mary's. The RBI single, driving in Cody Kashimoto, the game winner, and the ultimate dejection on the other side. The heartbreak for UCLA, they were wire to wire, the #1 team in the country.
They had a bullseye on them since they left Omaha last year. And needless to say, it's a shock for the Bruins fans across the country. Take a look at Roman Martin there. This is the last thing that they thought. There's some seniors in that dugout. There's some who are going to put the uniform on today for the last time for the Bruins. Some juniors who are going to move on to pro ball.
A look at our bracket, and it's updated. St. Mary's into the regional final against the 3 seed Cal Poly Mustangs. Just the regional final we anticipated here in LA.
Well, I tell you what, we've been gifted with some amazing baseball here, Roxy, at Jackie Robinson Stadium. Although this is not the matchup that we thought we would see, as dominant as this Bruins squad had been the entire year.
Wire to wire, the #1 team in the country, and they are ousted by the 4 seed, the West Coast Conference tournament champion. The St. Mary's Gales beat UCLA twice here at Jackie Robinson Stadium this weekend. Coming up later tonight here from LA, it'll be St. Mary's and Cal Poly in our regional final. For Wes Clements and our ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein, so long for now. Talking a bit as we go to the studio. Matt Schick, Mike Rooney, and Chris Burke.